real finals atmosphere. It should be an explosive start to the match. The Swans go to the left of screen after the West Coast won the toss, Guy McKenna. And Gardner and Goods to do battle. And Reid immediately out of the centre, belts to half forward, and that's a good mark by Luff. Well, they say, Jason, the first horse you see on the way to the races back, then we saw Luffy outside, didn't we, today?
He certainly didn't. He started beautifully.
Russell in short at half-back has been an important player, a goal kicker for the Swans this year. Kicks to centre half forward. Front spot belted away by Metropolis. Schwash quickly to half forward. Here's McIntosh and Lockett. The bounce favoured nobody in the end. Reid gets in behind it, tucks it to the line. A boundary throw in. Maybe that got rid of a few of the cobwebs, a few of the nerves. At least they've had a little dash at it early.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to get his hand on it once, though.
Left forward pocket, there's the interchange. Aussie will let us know who's there. They changed their boots, the Swans, prior to the match. Schwash caught up by Morrison, good tackle. It'll be a ball up. Most of them went for the studs, Dale, prior to the match.
Yeah, most of the boys put the screw-ins on. We had a lot of rain early this morning, and the ground's been soft for the last month.
Sydney attacking here. They've resurrected their season in a hurry after a terrible start. Barry over the top of Djakovic. Reid can't get clear. Schwash over the top. Well done, Kelly, to trap it in, actually, because West Coast looked as if they'd get away, and the Swans able to hold it up.
It's interesting to see Swan with their two premier on ballers, Darren Creswell and Wayne Schwash, starting up forward.
Had good value out of Creswell, particularly in the goal-scoring department in the last couple of weeks. Djakovic again, Goods to go with him. Reid read it pretty well. Just got it around the body, was good. Wirapunda, well played. Caught up, terrific tackle by Barry. Good umpiring to let it go. Jones also caught up by Bennett. Goods with a chance. Goes in short, not a good kick. Almost Morrison, probably should have done better in the end. West Coast to Reid. Reid prominent early. Torpedo punt, gets a bit of distance. It's White versus Luff. That'll be a pivotal duel. Fuster caught up, the ball to ground. White for Landia, well played White for Landia. Crunched as he got to his feet. White again, he's besieged, can't quite get a boot to it. Well played, Fuster's a big fella, almost out to Matera. Again held up, and it's tight and it's pretty tense early.
Great start. Very impressed by the Sydney Swans tackling so far. The Eagles are gaining possession, but not being able to get clear use of the ball away.
Lachlan loose in defence for Sydney at the moment. He's just in front of the goal square. Philandia on the up. Nix tried to break McKenna, couldn't. Reid tried to kick it off the ground. Philandia's little one. Cut off Crouch, couldn't quite get the kick. Cousins, who's got a bit of magic, can't quite get through. Saddington over the top of the ball with Bennett. It's a hard footy. Matera looking for a free kick. It wasn't quite there. Creswell, Matera off the ground. A goal from nowhere. Peter Matera, the first.
Well, that's a good start. Peter Matera likes to get his hands on the ball early in a game. That certainly helps lift his confidence and just kept himself in the play. The umpires in these first 5 minutes have really let the play go on. There's been plenty of packs formed. The umpires have really made sure the players aren't just locking the ball in, they're forcing them to knock it out. And that time it was Matera who saw the loose ball and just got good purchase on it to get it through. Very good goal and a good start to the Eagles.
Well, one of the champs gets the first on the board, Matera. Peter Matera for West Coast. Gardner wins the tap, read by Creswell, cut off again by Reid. Back to Goods, pushing forward O'Loughlin. They just mess one another up a bit. Braun, good play. West Coast away. G. Reid's getting a lot of it. Cummings, not quite. Worked underneath by Dunkley. Taken by Bennett. Bennett out wide. The Swans are away here. Crouch with a chance at centre wing. Good shepherding by Nixon, enabled him to get a run at it. Goes towards centre half forward. Barry was strong. Couldn't quite hold the mark. McKenna cleverly, and it gets to Rintoul. On the up, Cousins to Djakovic. Djakovic at centre half back, goes bang to centre half forward. Philandia just worked Matera underneath it and took a good mark.
Well, he spent a lot of time, Bruce, in the back pocket about 3 or 4 years ago, and he's back there today, and he looks to be in fine touch early, does Pete?
Saddington in short. Nix loves to run away. He does it again. Long. Lockett's going to get into the action. Plugger, front spot. Well done by McIntosh. Metropolis at the foot of it. Handball to Wirapunda. Wirapunda at the back pocket's got Matera short. He's going to go to him and find him at half back. Again short to Djakovic. Some good signs early for West Coast here.
The boys spoke of before the game, Bruce, a real finals atmosphere in the lead up today, and the ball's just very hot, very much like a final game out there today.
Matera's kick to White, good hands again. White about 80, 90 metres from goal. Cummings in a one-out situation. White kicks it in low, not particularly good. It was difficult for Nix. Philandia with courage, can't break it, he's in trouble. Scooped it back through his legs. Nix gets a second go. Good defensive kick, wants the line. White's got hold of it, he's got Simmons short, finds him at half forward, about 2 kicks from goal. Simmons, now Williams has dropped back in the goal square. If you can get it back that far, they've got a chance. He's unsure, then short, Cummings the target, he's got him. Well, Dunkley sort of let him get away in the end a bit, didn't he?
He did well, Simmons. He just held on to it long enough. He waited and waited till the right option came along. Dunkley didn't think it was a realistic chance of getting the ball, but in the end he chipped it into space pretty well, and a good mark taken by Cummings. He's a confidence player as well, Bush, isn't he?
He is, yeah, but I thought that was a great kick by Simmons because there were Sydney players around in front of Cummings, but he just put the kick in the ideal spot for Cummings to run straight onto it. And if you do give him room, he is very strong overhead. He'll take the grabs.
Well, it needed to be spot on, and it was. And this bloke is one of the best kicks going around in the competition as well. You'd back him from here.
Wouldn't he love to upstage the champ at the other end of the ground today? He'll be keeping count to see how he goes with Plugger. He's kicked it pretty well. They like it. He's got it.
Yeah, very good kick by Cummings, and he has got a sense of humour. There's no doubt he would like to upstage the big fella at the other end, and he'll certainly make a joke about that if he can pull it off. But the Eagles have just juggled their side a little bit. They've got Brendan Fuster off. They've brought Andrew Williams on, another hard-running half forward, just due to the wet conditions, and Williams is now being picked up by Nick, so a good match up there on the Eagles forward line.
It's a good kick by Cummings, so a very promising start here for the top team in the competition. Gardner, the young gun, what a prospect he is against Goods, who's not bad himself in his first season. Schwass to half forward, Rintoul, Barry attacked it hard, Metropolis there, Maxfield on the up press, will have to wait, did well, back to Saddington, well done Banfield, loose ball to be won, Saddington had to keep his nut over the top, probably messed up Nix in the end, Williams, handball forward at all costs, got it about 20 metres forward and close to the line, and now over. Good player Banfield, former best and fairest of the club. So consistent, rarely misses.
Just one of those deceptive types too. You think he's going to do a tagging job, but he picks up a lot of the ball himself as well.
So interchange there with Fuster off, Bellotti there. Schwass, they'll need a big one out of this start. Inboard, McPherson's normally a good kick. Philandia on the run. Well played, Philip Matera, held him up. Philandia's off now to Bennett. Bennett goes long, not particularly handsome. It's wide. Morrison playing in front of Kelly. Well read by Russell. Russell took too long, holding it. Braun's got it, advantage given. Rintoul away, good kick to Simmons. West Coast winning the early battles here. Cousins will come into play. Decides to take Schwass on. He does. He's so balanced. Runs away. Beautiful kick. Wonderful skills. Cummings should have taken it. Philandia dropped it. Might have been lucky. Dunkley plays it between the line. Matera slung off it. Philandia over the line. Boundary thrown. Big miss by Cummings.
It was another golden opportunity, and I think he's the sort of player that could trouble Dunkley. He doesn't go much for the body on body. He'll lead a lot. He'll run to space. And one thing Sydney do is they rely on the zone more than man on man. So he will find a little bit of space there.
Goods. Wirrapunda in there. Philandia. Creswell. Neat kick round the corner. Can Kelly get his first touch? Got a poor bounce. Brilliantly done. Handball inboard. Was a one-on-one. Cousins was fantastic. McPherson. Braun. Good tackle. Carey. Matera. Gee, that was tough, I reckon.
That was tough, wasn't it?
But that's the intensity of the game already. Players that think they've got a little bit of space, but the tackling's so intense.
Schwass's kick is a good one to Russell. Should run onto it. Away. Sits at Creswell. It was awkward. He's in the pocket. Lockett goes very short. He ignores him. Kicks to Crouch at centre half forward. Well done, Metropolis. Stood his ground and took the mark. Filled the hole. Matera is wide. Dale, Swans have taken a while to settle here.
It's struggling to settle down, and just before Scotty Russell looked to kick to Tony Lockett and then subsequently run down from behind, so I think they've just got to get the Lockett factor out of the way. It's good enough to get the goals when they come.
Goods and Gardner Nix goes to ground. Banfield over the top. Gardner one out. This is what's happening early. Goes in short to Mitchell White. White's got Cummings going now, and Williams. Neat kick. Williams, he's got him. Oh no, Cummings in the end.
Jeez, he stole that right out of his head. I think he was looking for Williams then because he'd made space well. He'd run down from the wing. But Cummings, as we said, very strong on the lead. That's his bread and butter. And he didn't make a mistake that time. And
he looks like he's going to trouble Dunks. Dunks been out of form of such for him this season and really struggling with his pace off the mark. And as you said, Cummings is very hard leading forward.
If he does have a weakness, Dunkley, I'd just say it's that short, sharp lead where you might be able to catch him. Yeah,
he seems to have lost that real closing speed that he used to have now. And with the guys and the movement of the ball so well, you know, you're really out of luck down at fullback.
Cummings, who's kicked one already, kicks from 40 metres out. It looks pretty good off the boot. He's got his second. Well, this is just the start that Mickey Malthouse would have dreamt of, wouldn't he?
Certainly would have. I mean, these are worrying signs for Sydney. They've come out a little bit sluggish. They're almost trying to be anti-lock it up forward at the moment. A couple of times it looked like they might have kicked him, and they're probably trying to play that situation down a bit. But at the other end, they've been very direct, straight to Cummings, and he hasn't let them down.
No, the ball's been going into the Sydney forward line and out very quickly. The Eagles backman really on top at the moment, looking very sharp.
37 goals for the season, Cummings. Lloyd, the leading goal scorer in the comp with 42. And West Coast jumping Sydney here with the first 3 goals of the match. Creswell after the bounce. Reid, toe poke was okay. Banfield off the ground again. Reid was good. Williams was excellent. Rintoul's a thumping kick. Holds it up. Cummings again the target. Well done, Nix. In the hole. Had the courage to stand his ground and take the mark.
Yeah, he's playing loose in defence. Next you've got Wirrapunda at the other end playing loose across half-back.
He's got Schwass wide and he's going to go there now. Schwass a playmaker. Wirrapunda just comes in and holds him up for a bit. Schwass down the line. O'Loughlin's going to be close to the boundary line here. McKenna, no, in fact, it's out on the full. Just drifting late, that ball. So the Swans are a bit tight here, aren't they?
Yeah, I said before the game, Bruce, that they seem to be treating it like the finals with the build-up this week, and I think they've just failed to settle down, and just it's just another game of footy, and the end result will look after itself.
McKenna, Morrison, that's a great kick.
Clever set play too. Dave Wirrapunda just blocked the opponent of Morrison. He was enabled to get a bit of space and lead to the ball.
Simmons is really using one another here, rather Braun, I should say. We've seen Sydney have many slow starts here and come back, but this is a very good football team they're giving a lead to today. Braun's kicks of beauty again to Banfield. Well, you wonder where they get the space.
Yeah, which is something we looked at during the week, the skill level of your guys, just the kick mark option, and such then with Cummings just losing Dunkley again, and just a great mark, but again a great kick.
Now that's poor defence though. I mean, Andrew Dunkley would be disappointed with his teammates because he went out to put pressure on Drew Banfield when the kick came in, and when that happens you certainly expect someone to cover your opponent, and there's nothing worse than when you turn around, there's Dunkley putting pressure on Banfield. He gets up, he turns around, and lo and behold, he sees his direct opponent taking a mark 30 metres out directly in front.
Gee, if we'd said at the start of the game that the full forward would be kicking for his 3rd goal at the 13-minute mark of the first quarter, we would have been getting very excited.
Yes.
But the full forward is Scott Cummings, and he'll kick it, you'd reckon. He hasn't looked like missing. It's straight over the goal umpire's head. It's a sensational start. It really is now. Cummings has kicked 3 in a row. Matera got the first, and West Coast right on top. A lot of it is happening from half-back.
It certainly is. They look very good, West Coast. I'm impressed with the pace they've got, Busher.
Just the pace and the use of the ball, Jason. I think I spoke about it before the game. They're very, very fit, and they work the ball. They're backing themselves to run off their men from the first quarter and use their fitness all the way through the game, and it really has been showing out in their play this year.
Well, panic station's not quite, but getting close now in terms of this match for Sydney. I know it's very, very early, but this is a good lead. And West Coast don't normally give them up. Swans need one. Goods through the centre. Here to Maxfield. Nothing quite clean is happening. That's a reasonable kick by McPherson to Kelly, but again, they're just missing it by a couple of percent, aren't they, when they go forward?
Yeah, the delivery's just a little bit off, and I think just the boys, as I said, a little bit unnerved at the moment. And another point I'd like to make, Goodsy, we've been able to get away with him being a part-time ruckman in the last few weeks, but with an on-ball division such as West Coast, when the ball hits the ground, the Swans are really struggling at the moment.
Gardner, with him Goods, down to ground. O'Loughlin was a bit unlucky, push forward. McPherson, good give. Crouch should kick a goal. It's going to be close. He's just missed. It's almost as if Dale Swans players, instead of being instinctive early, they're thinking about it, aren't they?
I think, yeah, there's been much read and said this week, and I think they really just must knuckle down, get back to the footy. They've been playing some fantastic football the last 2 weeks, and get back to that process.
McIntosh to bring it in now. He's got Matera very wide in front of us, and he's going to go that way. Matera versus Russell. Good contest, comes to ground. Wirrapunda, Peter Matera, back to McKenna. He'll normally do something with it, just taps it on the ground, then forced to kick in a bit of a hurry with his left to centre half forward. Philip Matera did very well, and Mitchell White kicks it beautifully.
Gee, that was great. You know, when Mitchell White kicked that ball, Cummings hadn't even led. He just saw what side of Dunkley he was on. He knew where he would lead. He chipped it to the spot, and Cummings exploded off the mark. That was just fantastic from Mitchell White.
That was great play by Philip Matera too. Didn't go for the mark. Knew Mitchell White was standing in front, waiting for the crumbs. Just tapped it straight into his hands. Mitchell White then off 1 or 2 steps, like you said, Chase. He just spotted which way Cummings had to go and put it out in front, and let Cummings' explosive pace off the mark do the job for him to break away from Dunkley. But that's the difference at the moment, the use of the ball at one end of the ground to the other.
There's a bit of irony in all of this, isn't there? As Cummings goes for his 4th goal. Now that is, I reckon he might have missed. Unusual, he's such a good kick.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed. I mean, it doesn't matter that he's already got 3 on the board. You still don't want to miss the shots that are your bread and butter like that one was for him.
That's a real let-off for the Swans. They need a steadier very, very badly at the moment.
But when you think he dropped a mark earlier and missed out, I mean, he's getting a lot of opportunities, and he could have kicked 5 early. Swans must regroup. Oh, Maxfield's got it. There was just an element of danger. They have to get some clean possession. Wide to Bennett. Now he's got to Luff. He should kick it to him. He does now. And Luff's got Crouch. Matera was good enough not to go over the top. Now Saddington's the target. The big stretch, Metropolis on the back. So again, the Swans not clean going forward. Metropolis to the line. No, Bamford, I should say.
He's pinged him for deliberately out of bounds. That's a bit tough. He really didn't have anywhere to go.
Plugger wants it long.
He's got one out at the moment, so they want to get it down there quick.
Crouch. He's not going to get there. And Reed's got it in front of Creswell. Now McIntosh will probably try and run off Lockett here. Plugger's going to have to dig in. McIntosh will want it to sit. It does. It's no problem. And then delivers to White, who's playing a big first quarter. Has Cousins, probably the wrong option, because Cousins was always going to run into Luff. With it McPherson, and then Lockett. Oh, Michael, we're disappointed with all of that.
They are playing nervous footy, aren't they?
They are really toey at the moment and just can't settle down.
Wirrapunda dropped it. In hard McPherson, Saddington, Kelly, will it sit? Kelly still, he's in trouble, gone. Cousins got him. Wirrapunda pushes to Braun. Russell too late. Braun's got it. Runs off Russell. Braun's neat kick to half forward. White, fantastic. Best man on the ground early to Rintoul. Oh, free kick against White. Stiff, I reckon.
Very stiff there.
Normally to take the mark, they let it go. It was all in the one motion when he pushed him off, but the umpire obviously thought he'd disadvantaged Luff and paid the penalty.
McPherson in front of us here. Schwasser's got him, I think. Gee, that's close.
Oh, he's pulled it out. That will not please the fans.
It's 2 big calls from that boundary umpire in this quarter already.
He'll get himself lynched if he keeps
He won't get
this
out
up.
of the ground.
But again, even that kick from Schwass wasn't as accurate as he normally is.
That's right.
They're really nervous.
Philip Matera underneath it. Peter Matera at the back. Crouch got rid of him. Nix, Schwass, little one back. Nix, weighted it to Bennett. Couldn't take it. Nix did very well. Played it in front. Russell, brilliantly played by the West Coast. I think it was Jakovic over the top of it. Simmons had a handball in board to Philip Matera. Didn't see him. Was held up. Over the top of the footy was Bellotti. Williams, I should say. Back turn by Cousins was special. Back to Rintoul. Rintoul off one leg. Cummins has got a chance at full forward. Coming across was good. Schwass's little underhand handball. Okay. Dunkley's got time on the up. Philandia. Again, he has to come back and break a tackle. That's how good West Coast are. To Goods. Goods must have to run along the line. Back in board. To Crouch. Over the top to Luff. Luff takes on Matera. Cleverly. Kicks to centre half forward to O'Loughlin. Didn't quite get him. O'Loughlin's got it now. Quickly onto the boot. Here's the first real one-on-one. Plugger's in the front spot. McIntosh is free kick. Plugger's got a free kick. It'll come back. Free kick to Lockett.
Gee, I don't know about that.
Well, I think, you always pick the sign, Jason, when play just went on. Not one player stopped expecting there to be a free kick. Plugger, McIntosh,
Both
Have
get
a listen to
going.
the crowd.
I think that decision may have been partly crowd-induced as well.
We talk about the pressure on the players. There's no doubt pressure on the umpires regarding Lockett, and they'll be watching that closely. And maybe he was a little bit caught up in the play there, but it looked like they were both pretty much just body on body.
Jace,
You weren't
we had
wrong there,
something-
Jace. It looked like that decision was paid by 38,000 Sydney Swans supporters.
Plugger's not normally one to get those sort of free kicks yourself. Playing a football, you used to body up a fair bit. Did you find that it probably went against you in the ledger at the end of the day?
Oh, look, I think you get away with as much as you're given, so if you get a free kick, you take it. It's that simple. But, I mean, it's not only an important goal for Plugger. He needs to kick this for the Swans.
For sure, and his own confidence today, huge in his first kick.
Well, we'll get a good gauge as to how nervous he is when we see this kick.
I don't want to do it, Bruce, but it's a pocket where he did struggle the other weekend. It's probably not his least favourite on the ground.
But in 17 seasons, I reckon he'd kick 85% of these. Let's see. Oh, straight through.
Listen to the crowd.
It's almost like the rocket has taken off slowly, hasn't it? We're on our way to a destination where I'm not too sure where we're going, but the journey's begun.
We've probably got to feel a little bit sorry for Ashley McIntosh. I mean, he's probably got the toughest job in the game at the moment. He realises the enormity of the task, the amount of pressure that's on, the fans getting involved in this game. Now, that was just a good struggle one-on-one. Plugger wasn't appealing for a free kick. He got up to chase, but in the end, he was paid the free kick, and that's the way you like to see him finished. He knows this ground pretty well.
I think as much a tonic for the rest of the side as for Tony up at full forward as well.
Oh, and a big blow.
I think that's a load off his mind, getting one away.
1-1 to 4-1. Extraordinary atmosphere here. I hope you can feel it on the 7 network around Australia. Crouch running onto it with Russell and Braun. Crouch paddling forward. McKenna good. Little give. Goods. Goods off the side of the boot. Kelly's normally quick. He's got it. They've lifted quickly, haven't they? We see it so often here, Dale.
Yeah, just as I said, once the crowd gets involved as well, the boys tend to respond. But the best part about that, the boys surged the ball really quickly forward, and Cal playing in front used his speed and hopefully to kick a goal.
Oh, he's missed it. Yeah. Oh, in fact, he's missed the lot.
The one good thing about the SCG, though, is even if you're 4 or 5 goals down, you can make up the ground very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's easy to score quickly.
You haven't won here since '93, John. Was it talked about much?
Oh, I'd say it would have been. The Eagles have to be in very good nick to beat Sydney up here. We've struggled, and they are in very good form, and that's why I think it gives them a good chance to win today.
Wirapunda at half-back to Cousins, so 3 soft kicks have found their mark. Just steadying the Eagles. This is good tactics. Beautiful kick to McKenna. They've just taken the crowd out of the game for a moment too, haven't they? It's been really good play here. White short. McKenna's got the confidence to go to him. Luff did very well. White's handball was terrific to Williams, who's a good kick. Goes to full forward, just across the face. Philip Materia for Landia. That'll be a contest all day. There'll be a terrific battle between those two little fellows, and it's been through for a behind.
Mitchell White seems to have definitely recovered from the knee injury, lost no speed at all, but he's just been fantastic this first quarter.
Yeah, he was the Eagles' best player up here last year when we got beaten by Sydney, but he does seem to play this ground very well. Sitting in at centre forward, he becomes really the major target for the Eagles going up forward.
Dunkley providing the target to Maxfield. Maxfield's left foot is a pretty good one. Carey running onto it with McPherson. O'Loughlin, no, not good. Wirapunda cut off by Maxfield. Inboard, Carey back to Maxfield. Just missed him. It's a good contest though.
And isn't that just an indication of the frenetic pace that the match is going through at the moment? There's so much pressure on the person that actually takes possession of the ball. They're trying to fire out quick handballs and probably just don't have the time to take clean possession as they'd like.
Goods and Gardner. Crouch. Creswell to run onto it. Well played McKenna. O'Loughlin. I think there's a free kick coming back to Sydney for a high one against McKenna. Now, Plugger's in the goal square. McPherson's a beautiful kick. He may go to him in a 1-out. He does. It's low. Lockett front spot. Bounce wasn't favourable. And McIntosh with him. Boundary throw in.
Bruce, the Swans have actually gone for a little bit more pace in the forward line. They've actually taken O'Loughlin off and brought little Freddie Campbell onto the ground.
Campbell, thank you. Richard down there on the boundary line. O'Loughlin was under a cloud going in. Barry, who plays pretty tall. Metropolis against him. Kelly can't get clear. Barry caught up by McKenna. Campbell gets it out. Kelly's there. And plenty of Eagle defenders to hold it up.
Well, Bush, it's been noted as probably the best defence in the 90s, the West Coast, and today it's just been fantastic. You know, I think Michael O'Loughlin probably taken off just to get away from Bluey McKenna at the moment.
Yeah, Bluey McKenna's been in great form. He did have O'Loughlin wrapped up. They brought McPherson onto McKenna and Campbell on, so they're just juggling things around to try and create some movement up there, I think.
Braun, Matera, and again a boundary throw-in. So terrific start by the Eagles. Peter Matera off the ground, and then 3 goals to Cummings, and then Lockett getting one. Matchups everywhere are enticing, aren't they? There's some beauties.
There's some great. Matera's picking up Schwash now, Peter Matera, so that'll be a great matchup too.
Gardner, Braun, gee, that was good. He kept his head down and he's won himself a free kick. He had to show a lot of courage there against the tide. Comes wide, lovely kick. McKenna, Goods to get back. Free kick.
Yeah, play on, play on.
McKenna with the advantage now. White's been his target for most of it early. He's going to go again. White, about 80 metres from goal. Cummings at centre half forward. Philip Matera on the goal square. They've kicked over 60 goals between them this year. He goes down the line. It's a great kick.
Super kick.
His skills, it's Williams in the pocket. White's skills in this first quarter have been fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's really standing out, the use of the ball by the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, the foot skills of all of them.
And not only just the use of the ball, Jason, but the way they've read the play. Again, we see there, just being able to find just that little bit of space, but back yourself to do a good short little kick and find the man. They're just very confident in their use of the footy.
Well, the way he's kicked the footy today, you'd say you've just about kicked this. It's a tough pocket and it's a tough kick.
He's been lively in this first quarter, 8 possessions and 5 marks.
Kicked goals here last year, and as John Worsfold said, he was the Eagles' best player in a losing team. But he's had a super first term, and he's just missed that. It's always just off to the right. So behind, West Coast on top early, but certainly haven't put a huge margin in at the end. It's 27-7.
And I think that's the pleasing thing from a Sydney point of view, that they've had so much footy and so much dominance to play that they're only about 3 goals down, and a quick goal here at the end of the quarter can see the Swans right back in it.
Nix to bring it in. To himself. Then short to Russell. Oh, not paid. Just didn't quite get it. You'd be disappointed. Scott Russell played in that Collingwood Premiership team in 1990, in his first season of AFL footy. Goods and Gardner. Goods goes early, ball to ground, Reed, Schwartz can't quite get him, Reed's kick to the goal square, Cummings and also Dunkley. Boundary throw in right forward pocket, Cummings with 3.
It's interesting to see Matthew Nix just sitting right in front of Cummings where he wants to lead. Williams is playing on him, but standing right out in the 50-metre line, so he will be a player the Eagles will look for.
Gardner, Goods worked him underneath it. Creswell kicked it as far as he possibly could in a hurry. Back into the centre square, the bounce important. Barry went hard at White. Wirapunda, oh no, it was too cute in the end. Now, this is on here. Carey to Luff, he can go all the way.
He's got loose.
He's got Campbell, Roberts going to the pocket. Luff a bit slow, kicks to Saddington. That was ambitious. Campbell held it round the body. And that's a missed opportunity. Luff just made it take too long.
He wasn't instinctive as Mitchell White was at the other end. Luffy should have turned and kicked. Tony got rid of McIntosh, and unfortunately for Tony and the Swans' sake, Luffy held onto the footy out at half forward, and Freddie Campbell were very lively tight, unable to cap it off.
Lou, it might have been fair to say that Luffy was probably not far enough back from the mark to hit Plugger. Probably just a bit too quick, that lead.
Fair call, was.
Banfield good from Rintoul. This is rebound footy. Cummings, Dunkley. Pace required here. Gee, is it Williams? He's got plenty of it.
Yeah, he looks very quick, doesn't he? He's running hard from half forward. As I said, Nick's trying to play off him and cover up the hole in front of Cummings. So Williams is starting out wide and trying to run into the spaces.
There they are on screen. 27-8. Gardner and Goods. Gardner held up, pulled off it. Nix, Saddington. Saddington's kick. Banfield's in the best spot. Oh, he judged it beautifully and then runs off his opponent and runs his full measure and bangs it to a full forward. Well done, Dunkley. It was a tough ball. It's still a loose ball. Goods works it back. Philandia, clever, kept his cool. Well played. Nix to Schwartz. It was good footy. Schwartz to Russell. Swan showing a bit here to Bennett. Bennett over the top to Maxfield. Has O'Loughlin behind him. Decides to kick. Campbell gets underneath it, and Wirrapunda, well played, Campbell. Brilliantly played, high tackle, free kick. It'll come back. Some good signs here from Sydney at the back. They were very confident. Campbell quickly on. McPherson's got it. It's just about siren time. It is siren time. Well, Dale, you know him better. He's a great kick on the run. Could he possibly get it?
He has a real tendency to hook the footy, so I think it might be a little bit beyond him. And the fact that watch it to go right from left in a big way anyhow. It's the best I can do for you, I think.
I don't know why Darren Creswell's leading. He hasn't heard the siren go off.
It was a great lead.
Wasn't it?
Jesus, some space out here.
Plugger's trying to lead as well.
I don't know if the umpires have called it.
Well, the siren has sounded. I think McPherson's pretty aware of it. 1-2 to 4-3. Big kick this. This would take a mighty kick. Torpedo punt. He's kicked it pretty well, but it's fallen about 5 metres short and left of it. So the Eagles took the honours. We had a bit of everything in that opening term. We had a lot of White, we had a lot of Cummings, we had a lot of the Eagles, and we did have a little bit of Plugger. Swans in a way got out of it, I think.
They did. I think West Coast had the majority of the ball, and even though they did kick the first 4 goals, they would have liked to have kicked a couple more, I think.
So it's 8 to 27, 1-2 to 4-3.
At quarter time, West Coast 4 goals, 3-27. Sydney 1 goal, 2-8. Elabeshe has 5 Elabeshe Suns backs, or Elabeshe money packs to give away in each game. The lucky winners of today's Elabeshe packs are Maureen McCabe, sitting in the Brawongo stand, Jeff Smart in the Brawongo concourse, Vicky Norton in the members reserve, Karen Johnston in the O'Reilly concourse, and Annie Warburton in the scoreboard concourse. You can collect your packs from Swans to Match Day Office 1 behind the Churchill stand, or Match Day Office 2 behind the ladies stand. And we had an over performing for us before the game today, and they had some giveaways. So you need to look under your seat, see if you've won a double pass to Star City Casino to see over. So check under your seat, see if you're the lucky winners.
Going once, going twice. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realise this house has been built using stick bar building products? Just take the quality stick bar seated timber windows, for example. The beautifully crafted stick bar every door makes a grand difference to this home. The stick bar side-line shower screen blends into the style of this modern bathroom. And what about the spacious stick bar wardrobe? Great for all the ladies out there. So, do I have another?
He's driving probably the most fast all-wheel drive system this country has ever seen. It's so advanced, it lets you choose the perfect driving mode for any situation with the flick of a swipe. The mirrors and nothing will change the way your experience is without driving over the car. So, if you know the difference, you'll probably like switching. New Pathfinder. Formula One. The team set a straight.
Exciting day here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and a quarter time. West Coast leads Sydney 4 goals 3 to 1 goal 2. Cummings has 3 for West Coast, and Plugger has the lone goal for the Sydney Swans. So it's 27 to 8 after West Coast came out of the blocks running. Sydney did steady up towards the end, so pretty good start certainly for the Eagles, and I thought the Swans steadied late.
They did. The last 5 or 10 minutes of that quarter, they started to get a bit of the ball, particularly out of the middle. It'll be interesting to see if they can continue that momentum early on in this second quarter. They certainly need to do so.
Now, if you don't want to know the score from Waverley at the moment between St Kilda and Port Adelaide, look away now. There he is, Plugger, 1,295, so he's 4 away from equalling the all-time record and 5 from breaking it. Richard Osborne down on the boundary.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. The weather seems to be on the improve, a bit of blue sky around. There was no doubt at ground level that the Swans were playing with a fair bit of nerves in that first quarter, so I think they'll be better for the run, and hopefully Plugger can kick a few in this quarter.
It'll be a big quarter in terms of this match, Richard, there's no question about that. Swans need to go on with what they got going a bit late in that term, but West Coast looked fantastic. The top team in the competition, 1 versus 12, but it doesn't feel like that. That is for sure. Crouch, I should say, ricocheted away. Well done, Goods. Peter Matera, Sun now streaming through. Matera winds himself up and goes long. Cummings did really well. He held out Dunkley for a bit, then Philandia. Hot ball, but he got it to Nix. What a great player Nix is as he bangs the ball to centre wing. Maxfield just lost it for a bit. McPherson to Maxfield. Good take. Back to McPherson. Lockett pushes McIntosh away. McPherson goes for goal. Plugger, front spot. Tried a half volley. Couldn't. Barry's in there. Barry caught up. Handball back. Luff back. Maxfield can kick it. Left foot. Hooks it too far. And does what Kelly did in the opening term.
And as you called it, Bruce, Troy Luff has been relieved of his duties on Mitchell White and been moved to centre half forward with Jason Saddington going back there to try and quieten down White.
Good move, I'd feel. White was so dominant, wasn't he, in the opening term. Morrison, whose career has sort of gone alongside of Cousins in terms of matches played and how they've been playing over the years. Cousins may be putting his head in front this year. As free kick to Gardner. It's a good kid, this one, John.
He is a very talented player, and he's coming along really well. I think the Eagles are wary of how much of a workload they do give him, so Jason Ball's been doing a fair bit of ruck work as well.
Kick to half forward. Jones on the ground. That was Williams, I should say. Now, was that a high tackle? It was. And Philandia, who gets down so low.
It's pretty hard not to tackle him high sometimes when he's on his knees.
He's been good so far, Philandia.
He
He's got the job on Philip Matera, who's been outstanding for the Eagles with 21 goals so far.
Nix gives Schwass a run at it. Schwass through the centre. Kick to Saddington. Did it get that far? It did, the umpire said. So Saddington be a key duel with White here. Now Lockett in the goal square. O'Loughlin in the pocket. He's going to kick it to O'Loughlin. It's a good kick. He's got him.
Very interesting setup, the Swans forward line. Then they had Lockett in the goal square. O'Loughlin was about 10 yards in front of him. And then I think it was Barry was 10 yards in front of him. Basically in a straight line. The 2 front players led either side. Plugger obviously left the space to come up the middle, but in the end they decided the right option was the lead from O'Loughlin.
Yeah, McKenna was closing quick then. It looked like he saw Chad Morrison and just eased up at the last minute.
Should kick the goal. He hasn't. Is he going to make it? Front spot, Lockett with McIntosh through from behind. He's an interesting kick, isn't he, Dale? He kicks a lot of goals, but he misses quite a few too.
He's actually quite often better outside 50 and with the real mercurial snaps, but the set shots from the ones he should convert, he really does struggle.
McIntosh has Morrison really short and has Metropolis in a good spot. Just wiped his hands on his jumper. Metropolis before the footy got to him and took it cleanly. Then just guides it. He was very careful. It was a good kick to Peter Matera. He's got his brother wide. And then kicks it to Williams. McPherson in late. Good take. Williams at centre wing. Has Cousins. Got him now. Cousins, normally a beautiful kick. That's given Braun a rough run at it. And also Cummings. Dunkley's hip and shoulder good. Saddington. Schwass. Good play at the back to Crouch. Swans are building. Kicking to the centre. Creswell front spot. Well, he's taken it. Oh, 50 maybe. Against Reed, no. To Schwass. Lockett wants it.
He's pointing to one side.
He's going to go to Barry, wide. Ball bouncing, Barry in the pocket. Barry tries to get it back. There's still some uncertainty with Sydney as they go forward, isn't there?
Yeah, Plugger looked back up at Wayne Schwartz there because he was holding his opponent on one side and pointing to the other side. He wanted him to kick it long to his advantage, but in actual fact, he kicked short and wide, which really wasn't the preferred option at the time.
It's a 3-goal game. 1-3 to 4-3. Laughing Jakovic. Jakovic lays it down. Barry hasn't really been able to impact. Philip Matera deep. Back to Jakovic. Jakovic in trouble. O'Loughlin almost took it off his boot. It'll be a boundary throw in. A lot of theories about Glenn Jakovic. You know him so well, John. Do you think he's getting slowly back?
I think there's no doubt he's starting to get back to his best. He's starting to get more confident in the way he's reading the ball again, and give him a few more weeks under his belt, he'll be playing top footy.
Philandia tried to take it through. McKenna floats it out to half-back. Schwartz couldn't quite. Pushing the back there on Bellotti against Bennett, and Bellotti's got it. Well, what a different day in terms of weather from the start of the match. Bellotti to White, Saddington. Well done, Saddington. Good contest. Peter Matera back to White. White delivers to half-forward. Rintoul, strong mark, about 70 metres from goal. He's a thumping kick, this fellow. He may get it all the way to Cummings. Lines it up and does kick in the Cummings direction. Dunkley goes early, misses the lock. Ball comes to ground. Nicks quite couldn't get back. Taken by Gardner. Cousins has kick off the side. Bouncing in though. Ball in right forward pocket. 8 possessions for Cousins early. Kelly starting interchange in the second quarter, coming back.
Interesting to know too, Bruce, at quarter time they were working feverishly on Paul Kelly's right calf, and he's just been on the exercise bike the whole time, so obviously a bit sore.
Gee, that was good by Goods. Wasn't that terrific? To Schwartz, who's getting a lot of it. The kick to centre wing. Barry attacks hard. Feinted a handball. Came onto his wrong side. His right foot kick, nothing wrong with it. It's a beauty. To Philandia. Philandia gets it across to Matthews. Matthews, beautiful kick to Creswell. That was footy.
And probably the best piece of play of the day for the Swans. And Benny Matthews here, we'll see on replay, just a sharp left foot pass. But I think just the way the ball flowed down the ground from the back line for the Swans, very pleasing stuff.
Certainly was great disposal, but he's become a real a key target up forward, Creswell, over recent weeks. I mean, we know he can get 30 touches a game, but he's starting to kick 3 or 4 goals a week and really proving to be a thorn in opposition sides.
7 goals in his last 2 matches. It's a good return, isn't it? And he's normally a good shot for goal. 45 metres out. It's coming back. They love it. And so does Darren. He fancies a goal, or 2, or 3.
Yeah, he does love them, and he really does play well as a forward. He started out when he first came to Sydney as a forward pocket and kicked a lot of goals, but as we see here, Barry on the right, great skills again to Philandia coming up, who's been moved up forward, quick hands, and Benny Matthews, who is a right footer, just very sharp on the left.
That's his opposite foot, and he's delivering it like that. That is magnificent skill.
So Barry wrong side, Matthews wrong side. He's good footy all the way, wasn't it? It's a mighty roar here, this game closing. Swans are tightening it a bit. 2-goal game now. Next 5 minutes, very, very important. Reid, who was very good early, belts it around the corner. A bit of space for the Eagles too. Saddington, White after it. And I know it's short term, but you'd have to say Saddington's done a good job on White in the 10 minutes he's been on him. He's
really played him to a man. I think Luffy could be a little bit guilty of sort of sagging back, looking for the long kick in, but Jason's tightened up, and I think he's just got a bit more foot speed than Luffy.
They match up pretty well when you look at them together there, don't they? White and Saddington. Goods over the top. Schwartz, who's had a lot of it. Back to Goods. What a talent he is. He wants the boundary line. Braun wants the footy. Goes to the line. Now Braun might want the line. I think he does.
Yep, he certainly did want the line there. He couldn't afford to really roll it over, so he used the pressure from the Swans players to force himself over the boundary line. So it was pretty well played in the end, because Sydney would have been away, no doubt.
Gardner and Goods. Gardner won it. Peter Matera. Schwartz. Should get a free kick, he has. He's playing a bit of a game here, Schwartz. Back inside. Creswell delivers to centre half forward. Philandia couldn't quite make it that time. Morrison. Philandia. Impact player for the Swans. Ball up.
Needs to be a little bit careful, Chad Morrison. He's just he's sitting off Philandia a couple of yards, trying to play rebound footy, and if their disposal continues to be very good, he will get punished.
Yeah, I think Chad Morrison tries to read the play, try and pick off the long kicks in, so he plays off a bit, but if they start to look for that short target, players like that do get caught out.
Goods won it, running onto it, Crouch, towards full forward. front spot, Kelly. Bouncing ball. Metropolis belts it away. Philandia quick at it. Well done, Banfield. He just got a little toe to it. And with Matthews, they force it over the line for a boundary throw-in. So much to admire about Drew Banfield and the way he plays his footy, isn't there?
Oh, he's just a real tough, hard worker. Nothing fancy about him. He just likes to do a mountain of work each week.
Gardner was in hard. Crunched it towards the line. Metropolis works it there. Lachlan just hoping that the umpire might be thinking the same way he was. But a ball in. Swans attacking, and they've got themselves back into this match.
And yeah, they'd have to be happy with the way they've started the second quarter, with just getting a little bit more ball out of the middle as well.
Goods again over the top of Gardner. Kelly pushing forward. Jakovic was fantastic to Philip Matera, who was good enough to get his kick. Bennett and Cousins. Bennett terrific. Pushes forward. Matthews over the top. Back to Schwash. Schwash, who loves to find some space, goes hard and high. Kelly's the target. Metropolis goes early. Kelly almost. Campbell's got it. Left foot. Goal. Fantastic.
Your hair stands on the back of your neck when the kid does that. Now, he didn't look like he had controlled that football at any stage of proceedings, and he has just basically tapped it onto his left boot in the midst of running without breaking stride and calmly slotted it through. This is just exquisite skill.
Well, it's the first time I've seen him play, and already you know he's got the magic, don't you?
Well, we see the squirrel coming from Metropolis, and it's just unbelievable to do it like that.
He doesn't even look at the goals.
Freddie Campbell in his second game of league footy sets this stadium alight. 3-3-4-3. Gardner hard, over the top. Cousins, back turn was wonderful, and then takes them on. He could kick it, couldn't quite get around, and ran too far.
Should have taken the kick on his left foot when he had the chance. Tried that extra couple of steps onto his right foot, but
he probably could have taken a bounce in actual fact if he wanted to go all the way.
How was his pace out of the spin, and then his acceleration to run away from Troy Luff was sensational. He was going to run into a bit of strife there, so good call by the umpire, I think.
Schwass, centre wing, Barry and Jakovic. Jakovic went early, did pretty well, but suddenly, John, Swans are winning their fair share of one-on-ones around the ground.
They are, and there's no doubt the Eagles don't score a lot even when they are right on top. They didn't do that in the first quarter. They got their 4. Sydney is slowly working their way into the game, and they'll be happy just to peg back that score now.
Schwass, Cousins held up, should have got a free kick. Great skills, poor kick though. Luff was good. Now has to back turn under the gun. Almost threw it away. It has a second go. Williams with him. Well played, Luff. Well played, Crouch. Off the ground. Jakovic strong. Just big body. Able to get in tight. Little one to Gardner. Working hard. He and Goods are covering some territory. Their endurance will be tested today. Gardner probably with better backup than Goods. O'Connor sitting it out on the bench. Kicks it to half forward. White. Big thumb at the back, Dunkley. Ball into centre half forward. Ball to be won. Philip Matera's got Williams. He's going to kick it to him. Can Swash get back? I don't think so. Good vision, Philip Matera. Williams making space.
And it was fantastic the way Philip Matera attacked that ball. It really looked to be a 50-50 situation at one stage, but he just put the head down, put the butt up and went straight at it, won the ball, picked it up cleanly, realised he had a player running deep into the forward line and hooked it around beautifully.
Yeah, he had to take it cleanly too. As hard as he hit it and under pressure, if he had a fumble, the ball would have stayed in that area. But he took it cleanly, allowed him to get those couple of steps away, and then it was very good to spot the player running forward. Williams is working hard for the Eagles.
He can kick a goal, this young fellow. 30 metres out. Oh, he's missed.
You mozzed him.
Yeah. Well, pulled him right out.
Did a good job, didn't I? Didn't want to, but he kicked a bag in one of his matches this year. And suddenly West Coast has been wasteful, haven't they? When you put a couple of the Cummings one together and White earlier on.
Well, like I said, when Cummings missed that easier shot in the first quarter, he already had 3. You still get very disappointed because the side needs to get those goals. There are occasions when they miss the easy ones.
Not a good kick by Nix. That could be 50 here. Against Crouch, that's going to really sting. Wooden's going to kick a goal, or kick for goal, from about 10 metres out.
And just the sort of stuff from a coaching point of view and a supporter's point of view, you just don't need those sort of undisciplined bits of play.
Well, gee, there's not much in it.
There wasn't much in it, but it was late and it just put him off balance.
There was no need to do it, put it that way, and therefore get yourself in that position. So very disappointing stuff from the Swans, considering they've just clawed their way back into it and were lucky with Williams to miss before.
The Eagles need this though. I mean, they had a great start and they've really come to a grinding halt. They need this to get going again.
Gee,
he's missed it.
Can you believe it?
I reckon it could be old Kenny Williams behind the goals down there. Might be put them off some way. He might have the voodoo dolls out.
Gee, what do you say, John? I mean,
well, they're certainly very disappointing goals. Players themselves get disappointed, but it really affects the team because, as we said, Sydney are working their way back into the game, and to kick a goal against the flow there would have been a real handy boost for the Eagles. Disappointing miss for sure.
Reid did very well to spoil Dunkley. Swans through Creswell and off the ground. Innovative Russell. Wirrapunda at half-back. Going to take Campbell on. Couldn't quite. Cousins rode above. Campbell was terrific to cut it off. Sandington had too much on it. Braun missed the body. White gets back with those long arms and gets it to McKenna, the quarterback. Kicks the ball to half forward. Bennett gets rid of his opponent. It's a bit stiff really because he got caught underneath it himself and then pushed forward against Williams and gave away a free kick. Matera works for him. He's got him. Oh no, he hasn't. Matera, a bit like Russell earlier, unable to control it and the ball out of play.
Well, Busher, we wrapped them up earlier that the skill level was very high. Unfortunately, the last 5 minutes, 2 easy shots at goal and an easy, basically easy mark there from Matera missed.
Yeah, they've certainly eased off a little bit and making a few mistakes that you can't take players on in this intensity. Wirrapunda trying to take players on the other end, getting caught with the ball.
Cousins and Crouch and Rintoul. It was against the flow for the Eagles. Cousins in tight. Well done. Braun read it best at centre wing. Goes to full forward. Cummings works to the front. Dunkley belts it away. Some terrific footy here. Riding the bump well there was Matthews. Wonderful play. Now Crouch has to accelerate. Couldn't quite. It was a great run down from the back. And it came from Woodard. And now the Eagles back kick. Schwartz to mop up. Takes them on. Handball to Sannington. Sannington to run away. He's got Kelly wide, goes in forward, Maxfield, Lockett's at full forward, Maxfield decides to set it up, can Plugger get into the action, bouncing ball, neither Lockett or McIntosh actually got to it, and Wirrapunda courageously came across in the front and took the mark.
We've got numbers out in the far wing, Gardner's all on his own.
Braun will see him now, Jason, and just pop it over the top. In fact, took a while to get there. Now Gardner can give it to Metropolis, decides not to, comes inside, left foot, put off it as he kicked it to centre half forward for Land. Yeah, got it. Got to play it. Holding on maybe in the end. Mark holding on, take your pick. He's away. It's rebound stuff. Goals are hard to get. There's a lot of tension there. O'Loughlin down the line to Campbell. Just got rid of Wirrapunda and then cleverly pushed it in front of Crouch. Crouch was terrific. The Swans are having a patch. Goes to Lockett at full forward.
Yes.
He's got it. He's got it, the big fella. Whoa, that was symbolic of Tony over the years. Brute strength.
It was. When the ball came in late, you could just see that Plugger had front spot, and you just knew that he'd be able to shield the ball, throw his body forward. It just came in at that right height for him. Nothing McIntosh can do in that case. And as soon as the ball starts heading in his direction, doesn't the decibel level in the SCG just lift? The crowd go absolutely berserk, and they were rewarded with a mark.
Well, the song says, Jace, there's only one Tony Lockett, and that's what's getting played on the airways up here. But quick mention to Freddie Campbell there out there on half forward. Just
great
good
work.
skills and balance. Wirrapunda out of the way and just a neat tap onto Crouch.
And I'm pretty sure he won't miss this one.
You wouldn't think so. Will he try and improve the angle just a touch?
He'll
Probably
run
doesn't.
straight.
Doesn't need to. Lockett. They love it. He's getting closer. We're edging toward it.
Those kicks, that kick that came in that time, came in low, Jason. They're probably the toughest ones for the fullback to try and spoil. If you are caught behind, especially a man of Plugger size, you can't get your arm around and try and make those balls. If it comes in high, you can get your arm over the top of their shoulder and just get that extra reach in. If it comes in low like this and you're trying to reach around, it's very, very tough.
It just takes away the time you've got to jockey for position. And I mean, if they can get the ball down there quickly, just have a look at what side of McIntosh Plugger's on and kick it to his advantage. He'll do that all day.
And just to bring to your attention the score now, the Swans are right back in this.
4-3 to 4-5. 97 consecutive matches he's kicked at least one goal. It's an amazing effort. So wonderful football here. Schwartz wide. Swans have really lifted. And now the champion team of the early part of this season has been challenged, the Eagles. Beaten once this year in 8 matches by St Kilda at Waverley Park. Schwartz, what a game he's having. He's had 19 disposals before half-time.
He's got right on top of Peter Matera in terms of getting the footy.
Gardner and Carey. Reid. Cousins has been terrific. Little one. McKenna. McKenna and Nick, so McKenna going forward for the moment. 4-5-4-3 here. McKenna, White too far, Saddington, Nix, Saddington, Matera should take it, but a good job by Saddington.
Cummings and Dunkley are getting it on behind play too.
They're having a real to-do, aren't they? Short in, Cousins.
Oh, they're having a real crack at it now.
Pull forward, have a look, they've been going for a while here.
Cousins is waiting for something to go forward. Scotty Cummings is a bit distracted.
Short to Matera.
They both wanted to get the last shove in, and the other one wouldn't let them.
Gardner the target, too far. Carey worked him underneath it. Philandia to attack hard. He's played a good first half. Bangs it as hard as he can. Barry uses his body beautifully. Can he break the tackle? Couldn't quite. Got the handle. Saddington's been wonderful in this patch. Kicks to half forward. Metropolis should have really taken it. Didn't. Ball in.
You can just really see that the West Coast Eagles are struggling at half forward. As soon as Saddington closed down Mitchell White, they don't have an option to kick to. They're trying to chip short to pinpoint the leads. They don't have a long target that they can confidently kick to, and they're going to need to do something down there to change that.
Gardner front spot. Luff comes in hard at the back. Ball comes to ground. Still Dunkley and Cummings are at it. Can you believe it now? The goal umpire tries to come between them at full forward.
That's the second time he's been out to chat to them.
Again a boundary throw in. Gardner with a height advantage. Luff. Gardner tries to fist it away. Matera did well. A little kick to centre wing. Williams and Bennett. Ball to be won. Now the Eagles have got a chance here. Good take, Rintoul. Rintoul can balance up. Onto his right foot. Kicks to Philip Matera. To White. White 50 metres out. Well, he kicked to the space. I think he thought Cummings was going. Cummings might have spent a bit of energy a moment ago. And now Matthews can kick it to Carey. Wirapunda's going to be the man. Couldn't quite. Philandia. He's got Freddie Campbell on. Is it not a great kick?
Kelly's all on his own in the forward line.
Campbell, back inboard, Philandia is top. He's good enough, comes back inside. They take a long time. Matthews to Kelly. He's got it! What a mark! We're having a bit of everything here today.
I'll tell you what, Paul Kelly had been on his own up forward for about the last 2 minutes, and he was just praying that they could get the ball down quickly. In the end, by the time they finally got it down there, someone had dropped back. But he just managed to take a great little ride on Metropolis's back, I think it was. What a classic
He's
mark.
partial to a hang too, Kelly loves those. But the man who probably made the mistake, Wirapunda, letting the ball get behind on centre wing, and the Swans had the numbers, and here Kelly lines up for goal.
Missed a lot in the first quarter. That looks good. The Swans are in front. The captain puts them there. There is a unique feeling here today. Wherever this match takes us, it's just a pleasure to be here, isn't it?
Oh, it's magnificent. I felt as nervous as any game I've been at this year coming to the ground today. Just the aura about it, the immensity of what Plugger, is going to achieve, whether it be today or in the future. And it's really, the crowd are in the spirit of it and really pumping it up.
Kelly puts them in front with the captain's mark and goal. And the Swans have hit the lead here. Big belt by Gardner. Bennett. It's irresistible stuff. Creswell to centre half forward. Kelly. Metropolis. Morrison missed it. These are the ones that O'Loughlin normally kicks. Well done, McIntosh. He was strong. He did a great job on Lockett. They wanted a free kick. There was probably more in that than there was in the first quarter, to be truthful.
And I'll tell you what, there's not many that can throw Plugger out of the way like that either.
Reed's kick. Fosdyke underneath. Kelly trapped it. Clever to Schwass. Inboard to Carey. Carey releases Crouch. Slow handball to Luff. Almost threw it back. Fosdyke missed a lot. Cousins. O'Loughlin. Cousins under the pump. Metropolis under the pump. Crouch in the pocket. Kept it in. Jakovic will make sure it goes out surely. Boundary throwing. West Coast have just got to hold it here, don't they?
They do. I think the Swans just overused it there. Just one too many. Now having a look at this. So you got rid of Plugger pretty well there, and as we said, not many can do that.
Carey and Gardner, boundary throwing.
Well, he is in some good nick, Jace. He's probably shed a few kilos in the last year, so that's probably in defence of the big man. But Swans just sort of trying to make something out of nothing there, just overplaying the footy a touch.
And the Eagles probably haven't kicked one for about a quarter of football.
Gardner and Carey. Carey front spot, was confident to go. Gee, Reed's boot came in hard. Matera, little one, good handball. Gardner courageously to centre wing. Bennett Williams, good contest. It comes to ground now. Swans have got the numbers. Crouch to Fosdyke. Fosdyke low, O'Loughlin. Front spot, free kick surely. It'll be a free kick. Slung off, but he had to get it in the end. It was a contest, but it was there.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be too many arguments. It looked like he was going to take a fantastic mark, and as soon as the opponent realised he was in that situation, he just reached up with one arm and pulled him down, and well, I don't think you can whinge at all about that one.
Gee, big queries on O'Loughlin and Kelly going in. They're both having a little impact here.
They're both starting to show something, but the most pleasing thing from a Sydney point of view, the Eagles no longer setting up across half-back and using the footy quite well. Just some real pressured kicks coming out, and the Swans have just kicked it up a gear, I think.
It's unbelievable. They're absolutely under siege now at the moment, the Eagles, after kicking the first 4 goals of the game.
O'Loughlin should kick the goal. It's getting dark here in this first half. It's a good kick. He's got it. Probably of all the teams in the competition, this is the team that can put a burst on, can't they, at this ground?
Well, they've certainly done that at the moment. They've really run over the top of the West Coast Eagles. They're the side now with numbers and looking like they're finding loose players, using the ball a lot better. The Eagles the ones now trying to scramble kicks out of the back line, only to kick it into a nest of Swans players who are making a good contest, moving the ball forward well again and starting to find space on their forward line, which they couldn't in that first quarter.
O'Loughlin coming from the ground, that's interesting. Richard Osborne may have a report. 6-3 to 4-5. West Coast kicked the first 4, the Swans have kicked the next 6. Plugger's got 2. It's been 1 game and a half. McPherson to Crouch, who's been terrific. Banfield, O'Loughlin off the ground, Banfield alone. Sweeps it to Jakovic, back to Morrison.
No one to kick it to.
Now this is where they've had some problems, West Coast, since that great opening. High, not very handsome. Well played though by the Eagles coming in. Matera, Philandia to Schwass. Oh no, Philandia went without it. Williams at 50, penetrating kick to full forward. Getting in there was Dunkley. Nix, Matthews, clever to Dunkley. Carey is wide. Braun will try and run him down. Carey very wide. Ball runs out, boundary throw-in.
Well, you can see the Swans' confidence really growing down back there, not panicking at all, just a quick tap over to the back to release, I think it was Peter Philandia again, but just really steadying themselves. And with Mickey O'Loughlin off the ground, he's had some trouble with his quads over the last month or so maybe just a precaution before half-time.
Cousins still getting plenty of it. Dunkley, a real battle with Cummings. Nix did well. Philandia's been good. That's not good. It's a goal, I think. No, it's not. Gee, Peter Philandia would have wheeled that ball over the line in a hurry. Philip Matera quickly onto it, but it was rushed through from behind.
Yeah, don't those forwards find a bit of pace when there's a loose ball sitting on the goal line? Cummings and Matera both trying to get a foot on it.
Always an airy.
Cummings very close, just couldn't quite reach it.
They can't buy one at the moment, the Eagles. I mean, their half-forward line is getting absolutely dominated by the Swans' half-back line. It's a very worrying sign for Mick Malthouse.
It is. All their goals, or their shots at goals, were all set shots in that first quarter. They were finding so much pace. Now they're just scrambling it forward and trying to create anything.
The Wooden and Williams misses are vital now, aren't they, in this quarter? Schwass getting it in short. Was going to go to McPherson. Turn the lights on here at the SCG in the second term. It's actually a perfect day for footy at the moment. Well done, Jakovic to White, who was the star of the opening quarter, and he's found Williams, who missed a pretty easy shot in this quarter. Now he's got to go back and kick this, the kid.
Just the difference, we talked about the ball that got over the top of Wirrapunda earlier. That time, Jakovic, against 2 opponents, had to bring it forward. The Eagles had numbers there. Mitchell White swooped on it with plenty of space and a good kick out to Williams.
There's always a lot more space in the forward line when you can move the ball quickly like they did on that occasion. Good rebound footy.
Kick 4 against Collingwood at Victoria Park earlier this year. Lining up here. He's kicked that one a lot better than the first one. He's got it. They needed it.
It certainly was a much-needed goal, wasn't it? I think the goal umpire did a bit of work there. It might have been a bit of a helicopter, that one. It started at the right post and ended up sneaking inside the left post. But it's a good spoil by Jakovic. He was outnumbered 2-1. He had to bring the ball to ground. He did it very, very well. And Mitchell White, as we said, the quick rebound. The Swans don't have the time to drop people back into the holes. Found the space, and a much-needed goal for the Eagles from Andrew Williams.
Well, the great thing for the Eagles is if you look at the scoreboard, there's nothing in it. 39 to 36. They can regroup at half-time. Maybe they can hit the front before half-time. Matera quickly out of the centre to half forward. Fosdyke running into Philip Matera. Philandia. Philip Matera's handball in board was good. To Wooden. Back to Peter Matera. Matera to Cummings. He's nearly got it. Well done, Dunkley. The second effort was fantastic. Cousins, high tackle.
And he's going off his absolute rocker, Andrew Dunkley. He initially had him in the tackle, and then he went for a second go. I think he wanted to drag him to the ground, and it just slipped over the head of him.
Yeah, Ben Cousins working very hard for the Eagles at the moment. He's one player who's maintained his work rate and kept them in it. He's had 15 possessions and really doing a good job for them. Scotty Cummings on that time, Jason, you just can't have that second grab, have you? He should have marked it. He had his hands on it, and he would have had another shot at goal. Just having that second grab gives the backman a time to knock the ball away.
It does. The ball probably set up a little bit higher than he wanted to, but you don't get too many opportunities to get two hands on the ball and have a good crack at it.
This to put the Eagles in front. Their young champion from straight in front, and he's dogged it. He's got it, Cousins.
There's no doubt about the quality of Ben Cousins. Just working very hard all the way across the ground for the West Coast Eagles. He's doing a great job for them, and that time working hard forward. Earned the free kick as he got in hard at that loose ball. We'll see, he just goes in, just clean, grab
had him for Landia.
Yeah, and just slipped out and then ended up over the neck. But
it's a good effort by Pete to get up that high.
Just a good quality finish as well.
Peter Matera's touched it a bit lately too, hasn't he?
He's got a couple of important ones out of the middle.
Well done, Eagles here. Against a tide almost, they were able to steady. Now the Swans trail just before half-time. Carey missed his target. Matthews has been good. Crouch's handball to Carey. He threw it in the end. Gee, he was lucky. Wooden belts it back and gets a fair bit of distance to centre half forward. McKenna's in there. Saddington. Dunkley ridden into the ground by Cummings, and he's got a free kick.
Oh, do you think Scotty Cummings wanted to grind him into the ground?
He was trying to sling him, and unfortunately the momentum just took him forward, but there was a bit of aggression in that tackle.
He was pretty excited about it.
Next to Goods, didn't quite get him. Loose ball. Matera was terrific. Rintoul, Bennett put him out of it. Saddington, Creswell has to kick in a hurry. He did well actually. It was a lovely little touch to Goods. He's got McPherson down the line. Awkward one, but at least the Swans have got it forward, and they've struggled to get it forward for a few minutes. It'll be a boundary throw in at right half forward.
All of a sudden the match is just back on an even keel. They've worked their way back into it, the Eagles.
Well, when you look at it, that you would have thought at quarter time it was Sydney who needed to regroup, and now as we've said at half time the Eagles needed to regroup, but they're going to go in fairly even at half time.
Fosdyke cut off by Banfield. Late goal here, either way would be important. Banfield to centre wing. Well done, Saddington. He's actually done the job. And then bangs it high. Can Kelly take off? Tries to work to the front of Metropolis. Well read by Morrison. Takes on his man in Luff and then strides away and delivers beautifully to Philip Matera. Wanted to give it off.
Mitchell White on.
Can they cut it off, the Swans? They can't, and White's going to have a shot within range. So terrific footy at the back by the Eagles. Rebound stuff.
It's a great contest, this one, Saddington and White. As Saddington outmarked him on the wing, Mitchell White then saw the turnover, took off. Saddington giving chase, couldn't quite catch him, and look at Mitchell White working hard through the middle of the ground.
I hate to interrupt you, Busher, but Scotty Cummings has just sat Andrew Dunkley right on his you-know-what. And I think the boys have got something to maybe from the Essendon days, I think.
This is the one time you don't do it, though. Not while you're having a shot for goal. It is inexcusable to get involved in a push and shove no matter how much you want to, because if you turn the ball over, the coach has every right to go off his rocker at you.
Well, this will give the Eagles a little break at half-time. Not much in it, but when you consider they were a goal and a half behind 5 minutes ago, this to put them a goal and a half in front of the break.
The Swans have really sort of taken the foot off the pedal. He just relaxed a touch here at the end of this quarter.
White from 48 metres. It's low, it's long, and it's a goal. A big kick. So 3 unanswered goals. Williams, Cousins and White late, and the Eagles now take momentum with them into the half-time break.
Gee, it's an incredible arm wrestle this match at the moment. It looked like the Swans were about to go right over the top. All of a sudden the Eagles have fought back, and some good disposal there, reminiscent of what they did in the first quarter. Quick movement, and he just made good space. Saddington's been fantastic. I think he's one of the reasons why the Swans got back into the game, but on this occasion he just couldn't get back in time, and that's a good finish from Mitchell White.
Almost half-time here. 7-6, plays 6-3. Eagles kick the first 4, Swans the next 6. Eagles have got the next 3. And Peter Matera's been important in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, both the Matera boys, Peter through the centre, and Phillips just got a little bit more of the football up forward and created a couple of goals for the Eagles just late in this quarter.
So again a bounce. Goods and Bellotti. Bellotti unopposed. Goods is going to get tired, you'd reckon. Schwartz belts it forward. Maybe a late goal here. Crouch terrific. Over the top. Laugh. Needed a reflex handball and couldn't do it. And Braun to Wirrapunda. And Wirrapunda to Reid. And the Swans missed what might have been a half a chance late. Terrific first half.
Just a couple of times going into their forward line, the Swans, one too many handballs. They had the run of the ball. Someone should have just taken it upon themselves. If they had a clear shot for goal to have taken the shot, they're trying to basically run it all the way in, and if you keep handballing over the top, eventually someone's going to come in and spoil and turn it over.
Kelly's mark was one of the highlights of the first half. His opposing captain, Guy McKenna, be pretty happy at half-time, because I think at one stage the Eagles probably felt they could have been 3-4 behind. Lockett has 2, 1 in each of the quarters. So he's teasing, isn't he? It's 39 to 48.
Please give them a big round of applause as they make their way onto the field. And there are the goals for Little League players. In red we have Penshurst, gold, Epic Primary School, Swans colours, Cowra, and wearing Hawks colours, Forest. Please welcome them onto the field.
Been a terrific game to half-time. First 4 goals of the match went to West Coast, next 6 went to the Swans, and the last 3 to West Coast. It all adds up to 6-3 to 7-6 at half-time. the all-important goal kickers. I don't think we've ever looked at these quite so closely, Jason. Lockett's only had 2 kicks. He's kicked 2 goals, and he's close enough. Creswell, Kelly, O'Loughlin, Campbell, and Cummings kicked 3 of the first 4 goals in the match.
Yeah, a little bit of his focus has gone out of the game, though. He and Andrew Dunkley have started to get in a bit of a push and shove, a bit of a battle down there, and that's probably not what Scotty Cummings wants to do. When you're kicking goals, focus on the footy.
But didn't he have a dream start early? I mean, he had the start that every full forward wants.
He didn't. In actual fact, he probably could have kicked 5 in the first quarter. He had a couple of good passes coming in, and he finished them off well, but he did miss one that he should have kicked, and he dropped one easy mark.
Yeah, as you say, he could really have closed the game early. I mean, they could have been 5-6 in front, but he did look sharp, didn't he?
He did, and also Mitchell White, who passed the ball to him there. He's had a fantastic first half. A real good battle with Saddington late in that second quarter, but his influence has been profound.
Swans started to get it going in the second term. They started to build a bit. They've got some passages of play going, and the crowd got involved, and it looked as if they might run right over the top.
It did. It was a very slow start, but as soon as they got involved in the play, the crowd did lift them. They started to move the ball well. We see Barry on his opposite foot there, and this is fantastic. On the opposite boot, Jared, Ben Matthews, young Ben Matthews it was, delivering down to Creswell, who finished off well. And Schwartz, well, he's knocked up. He's had about 22 touches. That's been fantastic.
He has been very, very good. And Campbell, what do you think of him?
That's a fantastic piece of play, wasn't it?
He looks the goods. West Coast had a couple of chances to kick away in the second quarter. They missed 2 easy shots.
They did. Just when they desperately needed goals, they had a couple of set shots that you would normally say, put down your glasses. That one there from Gooden after a 50-metre penalty should have been converted, but it wasn't.
Kelly took an absolute screamer, didn't he? You'd been screaming earlier, so get it down to him. He's on his own.
He was on his own, and if you were worried about his fitness, well, that should allay all fears. That's a screamer in the true sense of the fashion. I mean, look at that, climbing high over the top, and he finished it off beautifully.
He did. He hasn't had a huge impact, but that goal put the mark and goal put the Swans in front. But to West Coast's credit, they came back hard. I wonder what the Mitsubishi Motors match stats will show us to half-time. I know a few players have had it plenty of times.
Well, they certainly have. Gee, look at the difference in handballs. The Swans have certainly been overusing the handball, I would suggest, by those stats. We saw them run into the forward 50 a few times, overdoing the handball, and they turned it over. So they need to use the feet a bit more, I think.
And Jason, Plugger's about where he should be. Maybe 1 goal short, but he's still got a chance.
We'd like to see him have 1 more, but he's around the mark.
He is. So we're still sitting on the edge of our seats. A break. More after this. Welcome back. Great shot here of a contest between Lockett and McIntosh in the second quarter. Body to body. Plugger in the front spot, and he kicked his second goal after that. So he's within 4 of the record, or within 3 of equalling it. And at half-time, in a cracking match here, it's 6 goals, 3 to 7-6. The Eagles lead by 9 points after they led by a cosy margin at quarter time. Well, I think that Name a Game will do a bit of business if Plugger can kick 6 today, that's for sure. This one is going to be popular. 1800 035 665 for any match this season. I think this one might be top of the pops if Lockett can manage to kick 6 goals here today. Speaking of Plugger, I feel this is almost irreverent today that the subject of our Mitsubishi moment will be Plugger himself playing for St Kilda here in 1993.
On the ground. There is a pig at full forward.
One of the most bizarre sights in football. The day a porker invaded the SCG. For 7 commentators, Sandy Roberts, it was a chance to expound his knowledge of the curly-tailed breed.
Looks like a large white landrace cross. There was a cat at Geelong in the commentary box at one occasion, a dog at the Western Oval, but the pig at the SCG will not be beaten for some considerable time.
Of course, the pig was representative of St Kilda's Burnley forward Tony Plugger Lockett, who was out with a back injury. And while the fate of the pig is unclear, it is worth noting that Lockett gorged himself with 11 goals the next time St Kilda visited the SCG. Sandy Roberts, another Mitsubishi memorable moment.
Don't know about you at home, but I could see Jason Dunstall, John Worsfold and Dale Lewis. They've seen that 1,000 times. They still laughed again today. It's a chuckle every time, isn't it? Other match being played at the moment is at Waverley Park, St Kilda and Port Adelaide. Let's have a look at some highlights.
He's on the outer wing. Takes his time as he looks down towards Hall, who's on the lead. Goes over his head. Poking in towards 50. That was Lenny Hayes. Did well. Trianides has goal. They've got another one. Tumble a punt straight down the ground. He's not out of it yet. Eagleton's under pressure. The young hand pass okay to Thompson. Thompson will shoot for goal. There's another one. They're running hot here at Waverley. Not quite there for Thompson. Beautifully done by Thompson to flick it out. Tried to get it back to him. The hand pass went astray. Jones chops it off. From a standing start, he pumps it high. He wants Barry Hall, who's in the pack. Couldn't take the mark. Gee, the pressure's on the power now. It's flicked in towards goal. Don't tell me that's going to bounce through. Sensational.
The back flank and half back line is a pretty fair place to play.
Stewie Lowe stood his ground. Oh, Harvey, just brilliant. Here goes Ozzie Jones. They won't catch him from behind. Go, Ozzie. Beautiful pass to Mitchell. Mitchell to become their 9th goal scorer. And he's done it.
Everett and Daniels. Spider's calling for it. Barry takes his time. Now he takes him on. Swings around now and passes to Zilla. Intercepted, maybe not the option. Harvey goes back again to Zilla. He breaks the tackle. 48 metres out. He goes in towards full forward. And the mark taken by Mitchell. He kicks it on a goal. It's all too easy.
Up towards centre wing. Here goes Ozzie Jones. Nobody in front. Go, Ozzie, go. They're chasing from behind. He delivers. Oh, what a mark by Robert Harvey. He lines up for his second. 40 metres out and drills it.
Now, if you don't want to know the scores, look away now. But I've got to say, unless we've got a very biased editor, it looks like the Saints have done pretty well today. And repeating that the Lions beat the Cats today in Brisbane by 57 points. We are looking forward to next Saturday at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, State of Origin footy.
You know, as we got going around the ground, everybody stood up and the song was playing, and it was just one of those feelings that was very hard to describe for me. I was so pleased that he could, you know, actually go around, because we weren't going to go around because of how sick he was, and just seeing people, you know, crying on the other side of the fence in their admiration for what he'd done over the years for Victoria, for Footscray and for football in general. In years to come, we look back on that day, and I'll just say that I was very pleased that he was able to go round in front of his home ground with the Victorians playing on the day, on that last day.
That was an unforgettable moment. It was a beautiful evening here in Sydney just before 5 o'clock. This match is perfectly poised with West Coast leading by 9 points and Tony Lockett on 2 with 4 to go.
Your buses will go from Moore Park Road opposite the Olympic Hotel on the top of Paddington Road. So Central through Station A, Circular Clear Dolphin Street through Station B, Uni of New South Wales via Randwick Station C. Now if you don't have a return ticket, you may pick up a single fare from the bus drivers.
Welcome back to the Sydney Cricket Ground and a big welcome to our viewers in Adelaide through SAS. Tony Lockett has kicked 2 goals in the first half. He's 4 short of having the record. Cummings kicked 3 of the first 4 goals. The Eagles came out running. They led by 4 early. The Swans came back, hit the front just before half-time, but the Eagles lead by 9 points. Aussies down on the boundary line.
Yes, thanks, Bruce. Definitely a game of almost 2 halves within that second quarter. The Swans ripped away early and then the Eagles kicked back towards the end of that second quarter. But with Plugger, I dare say he's a chance if they can just deliver the ball better to him.
The lights are on. It has been a magnificent contest. A wonderful game up to half-time. 2 very good teams at it here with so much at stake. Schwass building the ball forward. He had a lot of it early. Reid back. Oh, fantastic hip and shoulder from O'Loughlin. And Goods goes to full forward in the pocket. Kelly, who took a screamer in the first half, left forward pocket. And a boundary throw. Metropolis has picked himself up.
Good bump. Just set up a bit by the handball from Reid, and Metropolis had a fractured cheekbone only 2 games ago.
And just quickly, Ryan O'Connor on for his first run today up at half forward.
Belotti starting in the ruck for West Coast. Jakovic wins the tap. Comes down to Fosdyke. Creswell, a little one around the corner. Kelly's taken a beauty. A slipped catch in front. It's a good place to be, isn't it?
It certainly is. When you're playing up forward, all those quick kicks tend to drop in front, and if you've got front position, you've got the best chance of marking it. But there's obviously still a cloud on his fitness. I mean, we haven't seen him run on the ball yet. They're playing him up forward. But if he can contribute with 2 or 3 goals, he took a great mark and kicked a goal in the first quarter. If he can double up here, he's certainly worth his spot in the side, isn't he?
He's kicked 11 goals so far this season. That's straight through the middle. He loves it too. Look at him. We've talked about it before, and I'm sitting alongside 2 of the great captains in the game, but there's been very few that can match this fellow for inspiration.
Oh, no doubt, Bruce. You know, whenever the Sydney players talk about Paul Kelly, they just stand very tall. He just leads them so well, not only just in his character, I think, just the way he plays the game, but obviously the way he conducts himself at training, off the field. Sensational bloke and just a magnificent player.
He closes again. So Kelly's second goal. He's becoming a factor, isn't he, up forward at the feet of Lockett. 7-3 to 7-6. Back to a 3-point game. Cousins had a super first half. What a young gun he is. Gets rid of Maxfield. Goes to half forward. Philip Matera for Landia. Landia belts away. Swans was terrific. Then had to stretch. Saddington good to Philandia at half back. Philandia looks up, has a bounce, has a second. Those little legs are pumping. Kicks to centre half forward, not a good kick. McKenna's got it. Just overplayed it a bit in the end. McKenna wide to Belotti. Philip Matera running hard and wide for him at half forward. One of the stories of the season, Belotti, as he kicks to Matera and gets him now out at centre wing.
That's good kick by Belotti.
White at half forward now. The Saddington-White clash has been a beauty. White's kick to Cummings. Cummings takes it. He's outside 50, clever, round the body. Could it sit for Reid? Has Cousins outside of him. Now Cousins couldn't quite get to it. Maxfield was good. It's a big play here. Braun's got hold of it. Back to Rintoul. Rintoul in trouble. Maxfield can't quite get it. Got it now. Rintoul's second effort good. Fosdyke breaks clear. It's hard to get it. Campbell, a terrific tackle by Wirapunda. It comes back to Jakovic. Jakovic off one leg. Saddington and White, body to body. Well played, Saddington. Creswell traps it on the up to Maxfield. Runs away. Neat left foot as we've so often seen. O'Loughlin may be the target. Back to Kelly, missed him. The ball to be won. Kelly over the top. Terrific tackle from McKenna, the 2 captains. Wirapunda had it dragged off him. It's a hot footy. Inside came Fosdyke to Maxfield, to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin kicks to half forward. Peter Matera sits, waits, tries to take Nix on. Nix has got him. The handball okay. Wooden's in trouble. Now finds some space and kicks it close to the line. It's nearly there. It's out on the full. No, it's coming back, is it?
Take it back. He was playing the advantage because Matera was held after he'd handballed the ball to Wooden.
So O'Loughlin off. We've seen him come from the ground quite a bit today, Dale.
Yeah, he just been struggling with fitness and had an interrupted pre-season lately doing so. Just a little bit underdone at the moment, is Mick.
McIntosh with a bounce and then sits it up for Belotti. He's got Cousins outside of him. Was going to go on and then kicks to Rintoul in the centre. 7-6 to 7-3. Terrific match. Rintoul normally a long kick. He wants Williams. Bennett front spot. There are clashes everywhere here to Saver. Banfield. Luff, who had his game turned inside out early and has fought back. Saddington's been a key player on the ground. To Goods. Goods off balance. Kicks the ball out in front of Kelly. A fully fit Kelly will be very dangerous here. Morrison, really well done. To Peter Matera.
They've got numbers here to run it.
Cousins over the top. Wood to Cousins. Cousins run down. And Matthews might mark it. Gee, that was a good chase by the Swans. Matthews wants to get rid of it. Oh, he's in trouble. He's gone, I think. Had to touch it on the ground. Got it to Philandia. Boy, was that close. Philandia away. A bounce. A second bounce. Goes over the top. Finds Crouch, who had a lot of it in the first half. That's a terrible kick. McKenna, back in board. Belotti to full forward. Cummings has got it. Well, Crouch, he's going to feel this one.
Well, that's what happens when you turn the ball over running out of defence. All your teammates have run to make space. They've all pushed upfield, they've left their man to try and turn defence into attack. You turn it over with a poor kick under absolutely no pressure at all, and you've got forwards just waiting back.
Yeah, what's to go there, Jason? When there is a quick turnover and the backmen run out, why aren't the forwards with them?
Well, sometimes you call to someone to cover you as they're coming upfield, Busher.
Okay.
Big kick here. Cummings kicked 3 early. He missed a pretty easy one after that. You would think that this is nearly a sure thing for a top-class full forward, and he's drilled it through. He's kicked 4. It's a big contribution. It's a big effort for a bloke who's having a super year, 39 goals for the season.
Yeah, he's having a great year, and there's absolutely no doubt that Mick Malthouse would have got right into him at half-time. After such a good first quarter, he really lost his cool, and with Dunkley, he lost his concentration. And Mick saying after such a good start, you can't afford to do that. Really would have laid the law down to him. He's responded. He's on the lead again, and he's kicked a goal, so he'll be a bit more confident again.
Trainers working on Michael O'Loughlin, best and fairest of the club last year. In the buttock area by the look of it. He's had some problems with his quads, Dale has told us. Eagles on top by 9 points. Cousins again to the pocket. Cummings out in front of Dunkley in his 150th Dunkley. Dunkley did well there. He'll want a free kick, and he's going to get it against White. Look at the crowd almost jumping the fence, getting involved here.
He actually played that pretty well, Andrew Dunkley, because Mitchell White didn't really do anything until Dunkley held on to him first, and
then dragged him down himself.
It's always the retaliator that gets caught, isn't it?
Yeah, but hadn't the game opened up at a fast pace again, and the Eagles are just really chipping the ball around well, and I think it suits them more than it does the Swans.
Dunkley. A familiar style to centre wing. O'Connor, front spot. Saddington was there. Braun back inside. Banfield to McKenna. Slick to Jakovic. Forced to kick in a hurry. Gets pretty good distance. Didn't really look White. That's a good mark. Dunkley sat and waited. He's got a beautiful pair of hands. Saddington. What a good young player he is. Kicks to centre wing. Jakovic outnumbered. Ball comes to ground. Banfield ripped off. It'll get a free kick against Schwartz. Never really took control, Banfield.
Good play again by Jakovic. He was outnumbered. He had to get a fist on it and work it forward, where the Eagles did have a couple of numbers, and Banfield did the job for him.
Looks up. He's got Peter Matera short. He's going to go long. No, he pops it up in the White direction. Never quite got there. Bellotti front spot. Crouch, whose turnover cost a goal a moment ago. He had a wonderful first half. Fosdyke. Matthews releases Nicks. Philip Matera was quick. Nick still got a high one. Can Plugger get into it? Wirapunda was wonderful because he must have felt Plugger coming.
He would have felt the ground trembling, there's no doubt, but he did very well.
Wooden's kicked wide. Bellotti's had a lot of it early, hasn't it? In this third quarter, playing on the ball. Goes back to Wooden. Wooden can't get a handle on it. Kelly's got him. Play on. McPherson trying to get clear. The handball. Wirapunda and Campbell. Campbell. Lockett. Plugger. Still Lockett. Go to the left.
Kick it yourself, Plugger.
Left to Lockett. Left foot. Has it got the legs? It's close. I think it's a goal. No, play.
Still in, Bruce.
Terrific stuff. Wirapunda at the back. It was so close.
And he was just too unselfish. I mean, he was in range the first time he looked. He could have played basically the same bit of play. He could have snapped it on his left foot. He gave the handball to Luff. Luff gave it back when he was under pressure, and it was a fantastic snap that fell a half a yard short.
I tell you what, boys, that goal umpire does not have a sense of occasion.
It's a great effort by Wirapunda. Jakovic having a good patch. Nick's half volley was terrific. High and hard. Underneath the Fosdyke. What a mark! Not paid. Gee, close.
Yeah,
Well, he's pinged now.
Yeah. Did slip through his arms, and then he was wrapped up by Braun.
Metropolis to centre wing, and the Eagles have got the run here. Reed caught up by Crouch. Well played, Crouch. White, he slugged Crouch off, and Crouch is going to win a free kick, I think. Crouch has got it against White. Well played, Crouch.
Yeah, the Eagles were away with that too. That call wasn't made.
Out wide. It's frantic stuff, isn't it? Frenetic and frantic. Barry hurled up. Hasn't really impacted. Short to Goods. At centre wing. Again, a little short one to McPherson. Got him. There's usually a beautiful kick. Lockett hasn't gone anywhere. Plugger goes now. McPherson goes to Lockett. couldn't quite get there. Boundary throw in right forward pocket.
They're really trying to spear the ball in low. I mean, he's only got a half a yard on McIntosh, so they're trying to drill it in low and just make him, or let him make use of having front position. But I guess the percentage of error is going to be much greater when you try to pass the ball like that.
Cousins was good, ran into Metropolis, belted the ball back, not far enough. Mark taken by Barry, goes very short wide to Nix. Did that go 10?
Yeah, 9.5, Bruce.
Well, Nix is a long kick, but so's Barry. Matthew Nix, we saw kick a sensational goal here a couple of weeks ago on the run. It's a good kick. To the goal square, Plugger and Banfield and McIntosh. It's a behind. So 46 to 54. I feel as tense now as I did at the start of this game. It's one of those matches, I think. Short to Djakovic in the back pocket.
Well, that's a dangerous kick.
Fosdyke did well.
Yeah, very dangerous kick from that position to go short. You really want to clear it out of that area. And on that time, had to show too much of the ball by chipping it over them around the mark.
Djakovic did really well there. Banfield onto it. West Coast playing pretty well at the moment. The kick to the centre wing. Chance for Williams. Uses White. Needs the bounce. He got it. Neat inside towards Peter Matera. Back to White. White caught up. Can't get rid of it. Saddington's with him. Well played Fosdyke. Belted along the line. Velotti's been important. Wirapunda released. Wirapunda goes to Philip Matera's got him. Clean stuff, wasn't it, from the Eagles, from centre wing on.
Yeah, good passage of play there. Sydney really putting a lot of pressure on them, which was good result for the Eagles in the end with the pressure, that you don't have much chance to look up and find a target, but they did under pressure, worked it well. A very good kick then to Philip Matera, but he's got a fair bit of work from that position to make this a goal.
It's been terrific, Philip Matera. His last few matches have been prolific. 4-2, 5-2, 3-2 in his last half a dozen games. 21 goals going in.
Interesting there. He was looking, trying to think about giving it off, but he looked over to his older brother who said go for goal.
Let's see if he can kick it from the pocket. He's missed it. Across the face. And a behind. So Peter kicked the first of the match. Philip yet to kick one.
And Jace, dare say you wouldn't have looked across too many times out there near the boundary like that as the key full forward.
You always look for someone in a better position, Louis.
Dunkley, outside 50. This could be a good play. Or rather Barry, even better. Takes a one on. Bounces. He's in trouble. Well-weighted handball to Matthews. It was good stuff in the end. Goes hard and long to Luff at centre half forward. Djakovic was terrific. The ball on the ground. Fosdyke picks it up. Hooks it and hooks it, and scores a behind.
Gee, exciting play by Leo Barry. He just took it upon himself to dash through half-back and was an outstanding schoolboy athlete and just got plenty of dash and vigour and a great set up by the Swans, which unfortunately young Nick Fosdyke couldn't cap off with a goal.
He did well to get it back through the centre, didn't he? He was running out wide, ended up getting the ball to a teammate right in the centre of the ground.
Metropolis in short, then out wide to Djakovic. Very short. That one's neat though to Cousins. 21st disposal for Cousins. And a good one to Peter Matera, who's also about to have his 21st. 8-point margin. Goals hard to get. Good kick. Rintoul found some space. This is where the Eagles have been very good, able to get it into Cummings. Cummings front spot. Dunkley works him underneath it. Philandia pushes in front. Schwass is able to get back. Plays the safety to the line. Luff was hoping he could direct it in his path, but Schwass found the post. Boundary throwing.
And I must say that in the one-on-one contest, Andrew Dunkley's certainly showing a bit of superiority at the moment. He's managed to spoil at every opportunity. I think the key to Scotty Cummings' game is leading. He's got to keep doing that as much as possible.
Goods and Bellotti. Not much in it. Wooden at the back. Quick hands. Over the top. Rintoul. Philip Matera to White. White kicks in front of Cummings. Filling the hole was Crouch. That's a terrific mark. And then wide to Fosdyke. And gets him. Now Saddington running on. Creswell's in the centre. He's going to go short to Creswell now. He's got, he missed him now. Creswell knew what was on, but well played by Williams to cut it off. Comes back to Fosdyke, back to Creswell. He's got a bit of time. A little one to Saddington. Now Blockett goes down. Plugger's on the lead.
Yes! Oh, he's played on.
He's played on. And selfishly kicks to Kelly. It's a free kick or a mark. Well, what about Plugger there?
I think, in fairness to Plugger, I think Corey McKenna coming back may have got a finger on it, even though the umpire didn't see it. If we watch there,
that might be why he played on, because I think he would have been on a similar sort of angle on that side of the ground that Paul Kelly's on this side of the ground.
Exactly, but just unselfish play and a great kick to Paul Kelly, who lines up for his third.
Doesn't the whole place lift though when Plugger gets involved?
Kelly from the pocket.
Got it.
He's got another one. Well, Jason, you talked about what influence Kelly is having on the game. It's growing, isn't it?
Well, if a bloke's only 80% fit and you can play him as a permanent forward, he's going to kick you 3 or 4 goals. You've got to be happy with the performance. I mean, he just, his heart is enormous, Paul Kelly. He leads by example. He's getting involved here. He's getting a couple of important kicks and even more crucial goals, and keeping the Swans in this at the moment.
Hug the post. Mighty roar again around the ground. 2 points the margin. Kelly with 3. West Coast lead. Out of the centre, Matthews. Cousins has got him. Goods tried to get it to Maxwell. Peter Matera did very well to centre half forward. White held on to. No free kick. He was unlucky. Philip Matera couldn't quite. Nix gets back. Both defences have been terrific. Kicks the ball to centre wing. We're a punter there with McPherson. McPherson clever inside to Schwass. Schwass on the run to Luff. It's a terrific build-up. Luffy can go back and have a shot.
Quick.
They were clean from the back there. It was good stuff, wasn't it?
They're getting really sharp down back and led very much by Andrew Dunkley, who earlier is foiling Scotty Cummings, sorry, and in the one-on-one contest. But Matthew Nix, great skills, and again,
he was just fantastic on the other side.
And the play by Daniel McPherson out there on the wing to knock it out to Wayne Swash when the ball looked dead was just amazing.
So Luff to put the Swans back in front in a seesawing match here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Kicks it from 52. It's close. I don't think it's made it. It's touched about half a metre short.
Interesting that Plugger was the only one down the goal line there. He's outnumbered 3-1. You normally get one of your, or a ruckman or a tall person to go down and stand on the goal line.
I think the case being with Adam Goods, not the experienced ruckman, maybe just forgetting his spot there.
Cousins at half-back, so 1 point margin here. West Coast leading. Cousins kicks the ball to centre wing. Simmons on the ground. Hasn't had a lot of time on the ground today. Handball by Crouch was good. To Nix again along the line. To Barry. Gee, just rode Braun. No, it was the Simmons. Braun got the footy and kicks to half forward. Peter Matera with Crouch. Free kick against Crouch for a high one on Matera. Swans don't like it.
Andrew Dunkley calling Paul Kelly back in to fill up the space that Scotty Cummings had lead into, and he's done it very well.
Peter Matera about 70 metres from goal. He's looking for Cummings. Williams also getting back with Philip Matera. He won't be rattled here.
There's no options to kick to. Once Cummings is covered, there's no other options.
Cummings has asked him to kick long now.
Swans have flooded back. There's just no space whatsoever to lead into.
Cousins is off to his right. There's Cummings. Matera short to Williams. Bennett was with him though all the way. Swans may get out. Terrific handball on the up there from Fosdyke. And the Swans kick to the space, but they've got nobody back. McKenna, it sits. He waits. The handball's good to Braun. Braun back to Cousins. Yet another disposal, but not such a good one to centre half forward. Morrison had a terrific go. Creswell couldn't quite get a clean handball away. Well done by Nix. Trapped it. He's got to get it out now or else he might be in trouble. It would have been a brave umpire and probably a cruel one to ping him for that.
Well, it looks to me that the Swans have really sort of tightened up again. The Eagles not quite finding the possession play that they had in the first part of this quarter, and the Swans really tightening things up.
Goods, Creswell, Kelly to Schwass. Terrific build-up. Schwass, torpedo punt, hard and long. Luff running hard, takes a wonderful mark. That is a great mark. At centre wing. Saddington leading for him. Goes in short, too far maybe, though Barry was strong. So was McKenna. Crouch's little one. Fosdyke had lovely hands. Saddington, hip and shoulder was good from McKenna. O'Connor trying to have an impact. Crouch terrific in board. Saddington gets it. Across to Luff. Luff's got some space. Lockett. Now he's got a short one on to Matthews. Wirrapunda comes in. It took too long, Luffy. And Wirrapunda was terrific.
Gee, he just had to move it on that little bit quicker there. And Bushy, just as you said earlier, the ball hangs up in the air, but Luffy, what a great catch that. He's running full pelt out here on the members' wing.
Half forward right, Swans attacking, trail by point. Jakovic, Wirapanda. Kelly was clever then because he realised Jakovic had probably beat him, so he allowed Jakovic to take it and then quickly put the tackle on. Schwash going into the goal square. Freddie Campbell coming back on for the Swans. A real battle here between two terrific football clubs. O'Connor over the top. Banfield taken by Russell. Kelly was good to McPherson in the pocket. McPherson's kicks hit the post, is it? Scores a level.
Well, I must say I was going to query the value of having a shot from there, and he's almost put us to shame.
It was a good handball from Kelly out to McPherson, wasn't it? Under pressure, going to ground, just slipped it out, found him on the run.
Good kick. Cousins, who's presented himself from both sides of the ground and deep. Morrison, inside Campbell. And then, I think he goes for the boundary line. Maxfield can't get it. It's a good kick, actually. Kicked it on the end of the footy.
He's getting some funny looks from Mitchell White. He was probably within range to kick that a full 50 and allow Mitchell White the opportunity to run onto the ball. So I guess every right to be entitled to have a go at him after watching it come into the forward line in that fashion.
O'Connor and Bellotti. Bellotti did well, pushing forward, boundary throw. So scores level here, deep in the third quarter. And goals have been tough in this term. 2 to the Swans and 1 to the Eagles.
I'm sure, Bruce, if the game remains this close, the Swans will be in the box seat because we've had Fuster and Jones both off since quarter time, and I doubt they'll come back on.
Are they injured?
They are. Fuster's got a very heavily bandaged right thigh, and the other fella's got a crook knee.
Sorry, mate. Banfield's going to kick a goal. He has.
Banfield did show a good turn of pace there too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a hard runner, there's no doubt about that. And just the game's been so tight, so tough. And for the Eagles to score a goal from a set boundary throw-in right on the 50-metre line like that, it's just a real boost for them. The way they worked it away from the boundary line. Banfield just running through, ran onto space. Good shepherd by Philip Reid. He ran in, and a good finishing kick by Drew Banfield. And kick an easy goal like that's pretty handy.
There've been very few soft, easy goals today. That's one of them, 9-7 to 8-7. So a big boost for West Coast. So Jones and Fuster probably not to come back, as Richard told us. Tapped on by Kelly to McPherson, around the body to full forward. Plugger versus McIntosh in the pocket. Wirapanda getting back, and the Eagles force it through from behind, not wasting any chances. Jakovic did the job with Wirapanda. Wirapanda been good in this term. 56 to 61.
He seems to have settled well down back, Bush. He started as a forward, did he, when he first came over?
Yeah, he was tried up forward, found it pretty tough for the attention he was getting, and coming out of the back line, he just reads the play. He's crisp with his ball skills, and his pace has been outstanding for the Eagles coming from the back pocket.
Matera played that at half-back. Crouch and Matera having a big battle. It's been some great duels here today. Now forced to kick and goes short to his brother, Philip, who's been paid either in the back or the mark.
Yeah, it's a good lead by Phil Matera. He started his lead almost on the Eagles' half-forward line with Kelly chasing him, but he just kept up that real hard lead. Good effort.
Philip Matera at half-back. Along the line, good kick to Williams. So they're not being rushed into anything here, the Eagles, are they? They're setting it up. White's got it at centre wing. Cummings and Dunkley.
Space to lead now, Cummings.
It's a great kick, look at this. And a good lead.
Yeah, great football all the way through from the back line. Peter Matera just holding up until his brother found some space. Philip Matera took a very strong mark in front of Kelly. Then he took his time. Williams onto White, onto Cummings. Just a great bit of setup there for the West Coast Eagles.
He must be pretty confident every time he sees Mitchell White get the ball, because he just has that knack of holding onto it long enough and reading the lead. Cummings went both ways then. He pushed off one way, he ducked back, and then finally went again. And, you know, it's a 50-metre kick that basically had him taking a dive in chest mark, which is physically impossible to stop.
Going for his 5th goal. Will kick from 50. And he's just hooked for a behind. 4-2 to Cummings. Gee, like it was on 4-2 right now.
It's almost a case of what might have been for Scotty Cummings tonight. He's looked very, very dangerous when he's led, and as we said, when the ball's coming down like that, it's very, very hard to stop.
Nick's just waiting for somebody to break, then has to kick to a contest, and Dunkley was able to do it after Velotti went early. Creswell's quick kick out wide, Kelly running onto it. Bounced off his chest, he's having a big third quarter though. Gets a high one. Play on called. And then a leg against Kelly. It's going to Philip Matera, so Kelly made a botch of it really in the end. The captain missed the mark and then had to hold the Eagles up. And Philip Reed's got it. Good signs for the Eagles, I reckon, in the last 5 minutes. Kicks to 50. Williams at the back, can run on and kick a goal. It's a floater, it's a bad kick, it's across the face, and he's missed the lot. They've just enjoyed a good catch though, haven't they, the Eagles, in the last 4 or 5 minutes?
They've looked dangerous when they've moved the ball into the forward line quickly. That doesn't give the Swans time to flood back, because when they flood back, they're so good at locking it up and then running the ball out in numbers.
It's been a game of fluctuating fortunes though all day, right from the beginning where the Eagles got the jump. Kick to half-back, G. Dunkley's a good mark. We already know that, don't we? It's a terrific take. Little one to Matthews, nothing wrong with that. Matthews inboard. Swans to try and set up a late goal to close the scores. Runs his full measure, pops it up. It's not a good kick. And Gardner has been on the interchange for much of this quarter and will be pretty fresh. Peter Matera having a huge match to Glenn Jakovic. Jakovic at half-back, delivers to half-forward. Good mark again. Plays tall, Williams, doesn't he? He's a very good option off White at half-forward. Then delivers Cummings and Dunkley, one-on-one. Belted away, Cousins finds a way, gives it to Cummings. Cummings runs in and kicks his fifth. Ben Cousins.
Well, that was a pretty special play by Ben Cousins there. As he took the ball, he sort of half-stepped back to sell the dummy and then opened up the space in front between two Swans defenders, burst through, and then the presence of mind to feed over a really good handball to Scotty Cummings. He didn't have to break stride. We see there he feigned that he was going to go back and then just came straight through the middle of him, and a great handball. Scotty Cummings would have been pretty happy with that one, and a good kick to finish it off. Crucial goal late in this third quarter.
He really made a goal out of nothing there, Cousins. I mean, he's been one of the best players on the ground, and his acceleration, 25 possession, I mean, a fantastic work rate, and Cummings got to be pretty happy getting a handball like that running into an open goal.
So the Eagles stretch it to a couple now. It's a little break, isn't it? Late. Kelly gets it from McPherson. Takes on Braun. Has he run too far? Oh.
Gee, I think there's been some worse than that tonight.
There probably have, but I think one of the problems is Kell just runs so fast when he puts the foot down. Well, he's run from the centre of the ground and he's finished on the inside to 50. I'm tipping he's run 20 metres there, but it looked like he'd only taken 8 or 10 steps.
Jakovic, good kick to McIntosh. Inside Lockett now. McIntosh delivers to full forward. Luff to get back to fill the hole. Terrific mark. Good skills to Schwass. He's had a quite a quarter. Big numbers still. And the Eagles just with the momentum before three-quarter time. But it's still an even money game, this one. Plugger, an outside chance now only. He has to have a huge last quarter. Stuck on 2. But he did give one off to Kelly in that term. Hasn't had many chances. But at the moment, West Coast with their nose in front. But with Sydney, with the crowd behind them and all of that, I still think it's an even money game at three-quarter time.
Yeah, I think that's the difference, Bruce. The money would be against Plugger doing it at this stage. But they need to get on a roll, Sydney, if they're going to win this game. And if they do that and the crowd lifts and the ball starts flooding in, Plugger could get on the end of the queue.
So those 2 late goals have given the Eagles the break. And here at three-quarter time, it's the Swans 8-8, the Eagles 10-8.
Swans after match functions here at the SCG are in the 2 seasons cafe behind the Churchill stand, the Bradford Terrace, and as usual in the MA Noble stand. For those heading up to East Leagues Club, there'll be an after match party there in Sports where you'll be able to have live music, a match replay on the big screen, and it's free buses to get you there. And I know you can up at the Paddington Lane entrance. The information for members and their guests. A reminder to all our kids and big kids too to participate in this if they wish. In the next game, dress in your best red and white, in your face painted, hang your hair red and white.
Welcome back to the Sydney Cricket Ground at three-quarter time. 2 late goals for West Coast give them a 12-point lead. It's 10-8 to 8-8.
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season proudly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment. And the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
What do you think, Jason, at three-quarter time? Who would you like to be with?
Well, it's been one heck of a struggle, hasn't it? It's looked like it could go one way or the other a couple of times, but the team, whoever's been down a couple of goals, has managed to fight back. I still favour West Coast. I think, you know, they kicked a couple of goals there that they really made out of nothing, which might be the difference at the end of the day. If they can just battle it out hard in this last quarter and win their share out of the middle, which Peter Matera has been very good at doing, they're a great chance.
Lockett and McIntosh, so much talked about the build-up. Plugger's had some influence. He's kicked 2 and he has been unselfish at times.
He has. Look, he probably hasn't got involved in as many contests as the 30,000 people he would like to see, unfortunately. That's just been the nature of the game, but he hasn't become goal conscious either when the ball's come down there. On that occasion, we saw him play on. Might have been touched, and he still chipped it into Paul Kelly, who's been fantastic with a couple of goals up forward for the Swans.
Yes, Kelly's been important. So Plugger on 2. Just 4 short of taking the record. Richard Osborne down on the boundary line here at three-quarter time.
Thanks, Bruce. Mickey Malthouse rather happy with his charges at three-quarter time. He said just stick to the game plan and all will go well. Swans, they need the crowd to get a bit involved here, and the only way to do that is to kick a couple of early goals, boys.
Good on you, Richard. It should be a terrific finish here. Dale Lewis, John Worsfold and Jason Dunstall in the broadcast box with me today. It's been a great game, it really has. So much tension here and a big match, a lot at stake. West Coast looking for their big scalp away from home for the first time this year. They've beaten the Hawks and Collingwood in Melbourne, but this is a larger fish than both of those, and they're in the box seat leading by 2. McKenna gets it. Out wide to Braun. The opening goal here is pretty important. It's been a low-scoring match. A 3-goal margin would be hard to peg back. Braun to Cousins, who's had so much of it. and then runs away and kicks long to centre half forward to White, who's been the principal target. Saddington's done a good job on him. Luff belts it back. Matthews in the box seat. White with him. Matthews, little left footer, going to the line and finding it at half back. Boundary throw in. What about the Swans bench, Richard?
Stuart Maxfield, Stephen Carey, Ryan O'Connor and Michael O'Loughlin.
Gee, some impact players there and some goal kickers maybe.
Yeah, O'Loughlin hasn't come back onto the ground since off, and two of the big guys for the Swans off, suggesting Rodney Eade needs a little bit more run.
Goods and Gardner. Goods goes early, wins it cleverly. To Schwash. High kick to centre half forward. It's going to be a tough ball. Jakovic belts it away into no man's land, really. Campbell clever to McPherson. McPherson into the pocket. Pluggers in the van. Couldn't quite. McIntosh. Morrison goes for the line. Kelly quickly onto him. Rush through from point.
Ashley McIntosh is generally keeping him body to body, so that Swans need to just open it up a bit and maybe hit the plugger on the lead 10 or 5 yards in front of McIntosh.
Asked to go again, McIntosh. Maybe the goal umpire hadn't waved the flags. Metropolis in the pocket. 8-9, 10-8. It's been a while since the West Coast have won here. You've got to go back to 93. Metropolis outside the 50. Gardner and Goods. Goods belts it away. Campbell. Terrific give to Crouch. Crouch to Lockett. Got him.
Great kick.
Again, very similar to what Mitchell White did earlier in the match with Scotty Cummings. He saw where Plugger was, and he virtually dictated the lead by the kick that he shot forward into the 50 zone there. He just realised there was a bit of space there, and if I chip it in, Plugger's going to have to move that way, and he was on the end of it now. Hasn't this brought the crowd to their feet?
Well, he can close the match and close in on the record. The odds are against him, kicking 4 in the last quarter, but this would give him the perfect start. Deep breath. He's kicked confidently today. He hasn't looked like missing the 2 shots, both on angles. Lockett, steady as she goes. It's close. Missed it. I think he's missed.
And I think I put a defence up for Plugger there that the flash photography around the ground was just amazing then. They were at the Oscars.
Just as he took the kick, wasn't it? A lot of flash photography going on around the ground. People really knowing the importance of the occasion for Big Plugger.
Gee, he'll be disappointed. It was a big chance, wasn't it, for the team?
It was.
McIntosh outside 50. Gardner the target. Got him. Malthouse had Gardner on the interchange for much of the third quarter. Bellotti did the job, and now Gardner's fresh. Goods is going to have to really play a big last quarter to go with him. White, Saddington. Saddington's been fantastic, but so has White. Well played, Banfield. On the run. And Cummings on the lead. Banfield's floater's going to go out.
He tried to bend it back, but it wasn't quite balanced and went off the outside of his boot. Good hard run, though, by Drew Banfield. Very fit. He'll be running that hard throughout this whole last quarter.
And Dunkley, he won't get it long, you wouldn't think. Now the umpire's asked him to go. Pops it to Goods, that's okay. Now Goods has got Philandia wide. He's got to go to him. He does now. Kicks to Philandia, who will be caught by Philip Matera. Well done. Straightens up and kicks to McPherson. It's a bad kick, but McPherson had some time. Normally a good kick. Kicks to half forward, Luff the target. At the back, Nix. He's a beautiful finisher. He's a good kick normally. He strolls in and misses. Can you believe it? Well, the Swans have had 2 real chances here through Lockett and Nix. Nix so balanced, running into an open goal and missing.
And at the end of the day, it's what you make of your limited opportunities that probably tells the difference in the scoreline. And this could be very costly for the Swans, particularly if the Eagles take the ball up the other end and kick a goal.
8-11 to 10-8. McIntosh, wide, very wide, not going to get there. And Barry chipped in front of Jakovic. It wasn't a great kick, really. He gave Barry a chance, didn't he? And Barry responded. Lockett and McIntosh in the goal square. Plugger says kick it long. He is a long kick, Barry. He comes back outside to McPherson. Banfield quickly on the mark. Now Matthews is in the centre square. He's going to go to him. Well, they've pushed it a long way from home. Kelly's on the lead. He's got him. That is a great kick, and what a mark. Fully stretched at pace.
Gee, that is a great mark, because I'll tell you right now, Chad Morrison was right on his hammer. They were both running 10-second 100s at the time that he impact of the ball, and to be running at that pace and take it cleanly in the hands is a fantastic performance. And for those, looks like he might have hurt himself.
Sorry,
a little bit
Joe.
there
Yeah, he's come down quite heavily. But for those of you wondering who young Ben Matthews is, he's spent a couple of years in the seconds just fine-tuning his game, but his skills tonight have been outstanding and really given an opportunity with the injuries at the Swans early in the season, and really taking his chance at the moment.
He put the Swans in front in the third quarter, the captain. This to bring them back within a kick. Kick 3, Kelly. They need this. He's drilled it. The captain stands very tall, and the Swans close again.
Well, he's only had the 5 kicks for the night, but he's managed to reap 4 goals from that, so that's a fantastic performance. He doesn't look 100%. He certainly felt this after he was brought to the ground. He was a little bit sore.
This could have been a little the spoil attempt by Morrison, really popped him just under the ribs. That would have he would have felt that for sure.
He's given him a chance.
Thank God he passed the fitness test. And they played him. A grandstand finish, it looks like it might be. 9-11 to 10-8. Goods out of the centre to centre half forward. Campbell and McKenna. Wirapunda good. To Banfield, to Cousins yet again. Kicks to centre wing. Luff at the back with Bellotti. Luff through his legs, clever, to Nix. Nix is kicked down the line. McKenna sits and waits. Never ruffled, never hurried. Back to Jakovic. I reckon I've called that a couple of times in the past. Bad kick, wasn't it? To Luff. Looking to give it off to Schwartz. Now there's nobody loose. He has to try and draw somebody. He's got to be careful here. The handball's not great. Saddington, they're building. Fosdyke, inboard. Saddington, Matthews has to kick quickly. Luff. He does. It's not a good kick. Free kick against Creswell. Bit ticky touchwood, I reckon. Reed's got it.
McIntosh has taken off on the other side, but he's ignored him.
Reed wide. Now Philip Matera's outnumbered here. Oh, he did well, didn't he? He just used the body on Goods. Now Gardner running, and Goods has got to try and get back to make a contest. He couldn't quite do it. Gardner tries to... He was off. Well, what was he if he wasn't off? To Cousins. Cousins will take Goods on. Cousins delivers to full forward. White gets rid of his opponent in Dunkley. At the back, Luff can't get a handle on it. Pushes cleverly through Schwartz. Fosdyke, terrific hands. Saddington took it from Schwartz to Matthews. It's a good build-up. He's a good kick. Kicks the ball to half forward. Morrison works Kelly underneath it. Play on. Wirapunda, clever kick around the body. It's terrific footy to Rintoul, to Metropolis. Metropolis loads up to full forward. Cummings, not quite. At the back, Saddington. Won't be rushed. Saddington gives it all he's got. It's a beautiful kick to Fosdyke at centre wing. Rebound footy, both ends of the ground. Well, he's got the man out wide. He's going to go to him now. Nix is a rebounder. Nix has got Kelly on the run. Gives it all he's got for Plugger.
Come on, Plugger.
Locker.
Yeah.
What a game of footy we've got here.
I'll tell you, he initially didn't have front position. McIntosh had played it particularly well when he put the half lead in, and he did have front position, and Plugger just managed to reverse it. One little nudge, a little bit of a jostle, and all of a sudden he had front position, and this would bring the house down.
Well, he's on 2.
He won't miss 2 in a row.
I'm not going to argue with you. This to put the Swans in front. He's done it. He's closing. Talk about sitting on the edge of your seat.
Well, it probably hasn't panned out the way a lot of people would have expected. We thought that the ball would get pumped down to Tony Lockett on a lot of occasions. We'd see a lot of one-on-one contests. There's only been a few. He's managed to win a couple of them as we saw him just fight his way to the front position. Just the strength of the man. You can't keep him out all day. He's kicked his 3rd, and if he gets 1 or 2 more, he'll probably get the Swans home. But if they can get on a bit of a roll, he might get the 3 that he needs.
He gets 2 more, Jason. He takes something else with him. He goes alongside Gordon Coventry. It's been a wonderful game. It's had everything, hasn't it?
Certainly has.
10-11 to 10-8. Can the top team respond? They have all day when challenged. Gee, that was clever. Russell gets it forward. The Swans attacking hard. Wirapunda, clever, runs it towards the line. Kelly was with him. Boundary throw in. Good stuff, Kelly. Didn't give the free kick away. And Barry coming from the ground, that's interesting. And Maxfield coming on.
Barry was picked up by Glenn Jakovic, Maxfield coming on, so that'll cause the Eagles to reshuffle their back line. Could create something for Sydney.
Half forward, Goods, not quite. Crouch over the top, Matera. Quick kick out of it by Kelly to centre half forward. Almost a one-hander to Matthews. Cousins tries to get through. On the bottom there was Campbell. McPherson's handball. Kelly will have to be quick. He is. It's a point. Yes, a behind. 10-12 to 10-8. Kelly having a major contribution here in a low-scoring match.
He certainly has. I mean, it's going to come down to those half chances. If you can kick one or two of those, you'll just about get your side home here today.
Jakovic has got a paddock. Campbell to try and put some pressure on him. Jakovic away. Then loads up and kicks hard and long in the right direction. Bouncing ball. But the Eagles have been able to take it from full-back to half-forward in a hurry. That's important for them.
Bruce, I'll just chip in here. I'd like to send a cheerio to Andrew Dunkley's mother, who's just recovering from triple bypass surgery at St Vincent's in Melbourne, and that's maybe a reason why Andrew's a little on edge down there at full-back. But to Anne and Jimmy Dunkley down there, all the best from all the guys up here at the Swans.
White back to Jones, a high ball to full forward. Cummings and Dunkley. Nicks at the back. Philip Matera, he may have actually got his boot to it. It's hit the post. It's a behind anyway. Not sure if it was him. I think it might have been. Would have been a miracle goal. Half chance, well, that would have been about an eighth of a chance. 10-12 to 10-9. Schwass out wide. Good kick to Luck. Inboard to Philandia. Philandia, not a good kick. Too short. Coughed it up. Peter Matera out wide to Braun, who can attack. Cummings is in the box seat. He's going to go wide to him. Can Dunkley get there? Cummings one hand. The kick probably not spot on. And the Swans actually lucky to get away with it.
They were. He had a bit of space there, and I don't know if it was the best lead either from Scotty Cummings. He probably could have come back this way, but in the end, the kick was just a couple of yards too high.
Rintoul's moved back onto Maxfield in that forward pocket, so Glenn Jakovic is now a loose man across the half-back line.
Probably responsible for Troy Luff at this stage, I think.
White and Saddington. Well done, Reid. Reid snaps. It's close. He's just missed. It's a behind. Titanic contest here. Has been really all day, even when West Coast got the jump. 10-12 to 10-10.
It's rare that you do man-on-man successfully from the kickouts, but the Eagles have done it pretty well tonight.
Luff is short, but that's too dangerous. Schwass wide. That's another very good kick to Nicks. Spent it beforehand. Cousins onto him and then ran out.
Definitely off before he took that mark. He thought he was free and he was off before he took it.
Even the good ones can make mistakes late.
It's still in a dangerous position for the Eagles. They wouldn't be quite happy with that, Sydney. They should have cleared it right out of that danger zone.
Gardner lays it down. Nicks caught up. Matthews, very good to Saddington, to Creswell. On the run with a bounce. And a second, Kelly's on the lead. Creswell goes hard and high. Lockett one out.
We'll do it again.
Plugger's got it. What a mark. Magnificent. McIntosh did everything humanly possible there. And the Plugger was good enough.
But I think he's developed a tactic here today, Bruce. He's only going on a half lead. He's waiting for the ball to be kicked long. And then it's just developing into a man-on-man battle as to who can hold front position. He's not leading at full pace because he knows McIntosh can beat him there. But it just becomes a battle of who can get in front. And once he gets that huge frame in front of you, you just can't get around to spoil it.
He's taken nearly all his marks, say, on his chest, which is exactly that, Jason. Rather than coming out knowing that McIntosh is extremely quick, he's just used his body and just lunged forward to take those chest marks.
This to stretch the margin and to get within one of Coventry. He's close.
Missed it.
He's missed again. Can you believe it?
The same spot.
He's missed two shots in the last quarter that would have put him level with Gordon Coventry.
Well, it's a big kick on both counts, really, isn't it? For Tony himself, but also for the Swans, who are just trying to get in front and get this arm wrestle, this pushed over to their side. But, gee, unfortunate for Tony, he wouldn't count on him missing two in a row in a quarter for too many times.
McIntosh, 10-13 to 10-10. Peter Matera the target. He's got it. Nerves at this stage for him. I mean, you've been in big positions with the footy there.
Yeah, look, he's a fantastic technical kick. You wouldn't think it's nerves, but I guess it's it's not just the record, it's also the state of the game.
Banfield onto it now, kicked a goal from a similar situation in the third quarter, and he's going to kick another one, and the Eagles are in front.
Doesn't that hurt? That is just one of the worst things that can happen when you miss what you would think is a lay-down goal at one end. All of a sudden, out of nothing comes a goal at the other end. It's as good as a 12-point turnaround.
Yeah, and again, as I said, Drew Banfield, one of the real hard workers of the West Coast Eagles, and just ran hard from the half-back line, read the ball, just knocked it to his own advantage. Good run by Philip Reid to get in and run with him, talk to him, give a shepherd. And Banfield, just very good finish. It was a pressure kick. The Eagles needed that goal.
Eagles back in front by 3 points. Banfield, 2 second-half goals have been beat. Gardner to Reid. The Eagles to centre-half forward. Philandia and Philip Matera. That's been a terrific duel. Back to Luff. Luff will have to come back. No, he did well, actually, to Philandia. Philandia's sweeping handball, okay. Saddington's actually played a wonderful match and kicks the ball to centre wing to Freddie Campbell. He couldn't take the mark. Metropolis. Still Metropolis.
Oh, dangerous.
Bad kick. McPherson's got it at centre wing. He's a probing kick. He's got Nix very long and wide. Nix is a good mark. He's got it. Surely he won't miss this one. Lines them up. The Swans are in front. What a game. He is such a good footballer, Nix. He's got 3 dimensions to his game, hasn't he?
And I'll tell you right now, again, that goal resulted directly from a poor turnover coming out of the Eagles' defence. General Metropolis, he hung onto the ball, he didn't know what he wanted to do. He was looking for a free player, and if you can't pick someone out, you've got to kick it long to a defensive part of the ground. He didn't do that. An immediate change of direction, a mismatch, a tall player on a short player, and a goal to Nix.
What a roar here. We hope you're enjoying this match around Australia on the 7 network. The Swans hit the front again. Goods and Bellotti. Creswell, who was touched off the boot. Hard was Metropolis. And he was caught by 2 hard men from Sydney too.
Gee, he attacked it well, but he got stopped in his tracks.
That's great footy. Just seen players just attacking everything really hard. He had no chance to get rid of it.
The boys
Just
have
had
been watching the NRL up here, I think, too much with State of Origin next week. Get that in there.
McPherson and Crouch it was. Plenty of time left for a lot of things to happen here. Bellotti should get a free kick. Goods just gave him a push. Bellotti, Matera runs away for him. Laurie Bellotti out wide to Cousins. Now he's got Braun on. Nix holds him up. 29th disposal for this young champion, 20 years of age. Kicks over Rintoul, wants Jakovic. Luff's taken some wonderful marks after being turned inside out early, and that's a good kick to Kelly. Kelly stretches.
Quickly, here we go.
Lockett goes, sweeps the handball to Fosdyke. Fosdyke loads up to full forward. Lockett can't quite get there. Wirrapunda was quick, came across, belted it through, and it's a behind.
You know, the Eagles have got a real problem here. Every time they kick the ball long on the forward line, they don't have any marking options. If they don't pinpoint the lead, they don't look likely to take a mark.
Luff has sweat beautifully, hasn't he, late in this game?
He's been good since moved back there after getting stitched early.
Peter Matera's kick is a good one to Braun. Goods just stopped in his tracks, and Braun's got it. He's got Bellotti out wide. Now plays on. Kick is short. Jakovic the target. Took a good one in front of Saddington. So Jakovic at centre wing. Eagles trail by 4 points.
There's just no tools to kick to, although he's got Gardner up there long.
Cummings the target now. Luff again sweeps in from the back and belts it over the line to help out his defence. It's important, Luff.
It's a good quality in a player, isn't it, to come back after sort of getting what most pundits would say, getting a hiding early, and just have the state of mind and presence to get back there and do a real fantastic job for your club.
Gardner and Goods. Gardner took it out of the air. Goods hurled him back to Cousins. Cousins clever. Left foot kick is a good one to the point of the square. Cummings well played, Dunkley. And then Matthews, who kept it down low to Russell. Now Fosdyke's on. If he can kick it around the corner, he does. Fosdyke is away. He's got Maxfield in the centre. Not a good kick. I know what he was after. He was trying to kick it. That's off out of bounds on the fall against Reid.
This is the pressure time where you've got to pick the right options.
Creswell forced to kick in a hurry. McKenna underneath, and that too was a waste. There's a lot of pressure and tension out there. One mistake right now can mean so much in the context of the match. And at the same time, one bit of inspired footy can turn the game on its head. The kick to Djakovic. Luff did well. To Philandia. The sweeping handball to Russell. Russell's left foot around the corner. Not so good. Wirapunda. Kelly might have been leg. Back to Crouch. Crouch can't really get a kick away. Braun's little give to Morrison at half-back. Morrison wide to Peter Matera. Peter Matera will try and conjure something. He's gone. Holding the ball. Nix has got him. McPherson over the top. Fosdyke the kid.
Kelly all
He's
on his
got
own.
Kelly on his own. Kelly can run in and kick a goal. He doesn't. He thought about it. He's going to mark the spot.
He wants to get the crowd into this game. Oh, my God.
Well, now watch this one. Bang. Well, Kelly, who normally loves to run on, decided against it. This is no gimme from the pocket. This for his 5th goal. He has kicked the footy so well today. This to give the Swans a little breathing space. Kelly has missed it. Well, at the end of the day, you can count a few. We talked about the Eagles early in the match, but Kelly and Plugger a couple, and he really did have a chance to go on there, didn't he?
Yeah, well, this could take another twist, this match yet.
Just, in terms of both sides looking for goal kickers, and Sydney at the moment with Plugger and Kelly are both looking a lot more dangerous than what the Eagles have got up forward.
Bellotti to McKenna. McKenna to White.
That's a push in the back.
He gets it from Saddington. White, probably the best man on the ground at various stages in this game, has been nullified pretty well in this last quarter. Long way from home. He's kicked the ball beautifully today in this position. Goes short. Philip Matera's got it. Still about 2 kicks from goal. Banfield runs hard at centre-half forward. Matera decides not.
Just slow movement here, so it's very, very crowded up forward now.
I think Djakovic's the target.
It's just impossible to pinpoint leads when you take that long to bring the ball into the forward line. They've flooded so many players back into the space. You've got to kick it down there quickly and at least give the forwards a bit of a chance. But it still reflects the problem. There's no marking options.
5 points the margin. So a goal here puts the Eagles back in front. Djakovic body on body with Luff. Held on to Crouch. No free kick. Very good. Philandia's kick was effective. He had nowhere to go and he found the line. What a game. It's like one of those great finals when we had Hawthorn and Essendon in consecutive weeks in '96 here.
It certainly is, Bruce, and I mean, the crowd really does create the occasion, sense of occasion here. They just get so into it. They've been so well educated over the last few years, and they're just awesome.
Djakovic, high. Cummings and Dunkley, bouncing ball, out of play, boundary throw-in.
You mentioned those 2 finals, Bruce, that only had a kick in them. Have all gone the Swans' way. Will they do the same tonight?
Carey coming back on. Carey coming back on for the Swans. So the Eagles with the ball in its forward line. Djakovic, White read it well, still with Mitchell White. White's left foot is good. He's kicked it. They're in front.
You talk about individual efforts when players need to stand up. He's just taken the bit between the teeth and he said, I'll do it myself. He beat 2 or 3 players. He exploded through a gap, shrugged off a tackle. And as he snapped that back, that's virtually over his head on the left foot. Every reason to get excited. I mean, there was obviously no reaction from the crowd, but that was just a classy piece of play.
Well, the only other goal this quarter has come from Drew Banfield, who had to run hard from the wing. And Mitchell White's a forward who stood up and kicked the goal that the Eagles were desperately looking for.
Luff's off to the blood rule.
Important here, Luff coming off for the blood rule. And he's been such an important defender, and Goods to come back on. Eagles in front by a point.
Well, the Swans will want Luffy back on as quickly as possible. He's been outstanding in this last quarter so far.
He's taken 10 marks across half-back.
Been very good. And with Paul Kelly unable to kick the captain's goal that we needed down at the other end.
Big centre play here. Carey takes it himself, gets up and under. Nix and Banfield coming in with Schwass. Cousins off the ground. Bellotti was good. Anything will do. Reid was terrific. Goods' handball was hot. Bennett was strong enough and good enough. Crouch had to get rid of it in a hurry. He did, and then toe poked it cleverly to Schwass. Schwass's sweeping handball to Carey. Carey to Maxfield. Maxfield, he's a long kick. He's 50 out. It's going to not get there, and McIntosh marks it. A waste.
That was actually a poor kick, Bruce.
Yeah.
Pluggers led to the pocket, and Maxwell just didn't see him.
Braun in the back pocket. There's enough time for 2 or 3 more goals, but maybe the Swans...
He's played on, he's been called to go.
Maybe the Swans can't concede a goal. Braun belts it wide. Cousins, it's a great kick, isn't it? To Cousins at half-back. You doubt whether the Swans can afford the Eagles
got them
to
long
get
on the wing here. They're away, the Eagles.
Nix will have to stand up. He got a hand to it. Gee, Wirrapunda, that was interesting. Banfield to Reed. Barry had to hold him up. They might be lucky. Nix, they're tired. Nix was terrific. They're very tired. Fosdyke squeezed it and gets it to centre wing. It hasn't gone out. It's still, oh, it is now.
He was praying for that to go out as he tried. He gave it every opportunity to roll out under its own steam.
I can't see why they didn't pay that deliberate.
A bit tired plugger down here in front of us too.
Belted away towards the line. Simmons and forcing forward.
And the Eagles,
boundary throwing.
The Eagles certainly won't mind using up the clock here. They'll play the boundary. They'll push it out at every opportunity. Just keep punching it towards the boundary line.
1 point the margin. Bellotti, free kick Carey over the shoulder. Well, those little ones might add up in the end. You would hate a technical free kick to cost a game, but he's a long way from goal. Kicks to half forward. Creswell, clever, well done McKenna. The handball didn't have much on it. Swans can hold it up, and it'll be a ball up about 55 metres from their goal.
Gee, if McKenna didn't get his hands on that, and that got tapped over the top, there were 3 Swans that would have absolutely swooped and run into an open goal.
No Eagles players goal side of them, so yeah, just great hands by Guy McKenna, saved them there.
Carey, Bellotti, luff back on for the Swans. Bellotti got his hands to it. Schwartz is on his wrong side, hooks it back.
Again.
Plugger! Half volley couldn't quite. At the feet, McIntosh gets it out to Matera. Good stuff, Eagles. Matera at half-back, lovely kick to Reed. That was defensive play at its very best. Under so much heat. Reed at half-back. The players don't know how long there is to go. They know there's about 28 minutes on the clock.
A bit too early to start playing the possession game.
Umpire asking him to go now. High one. Jakovic a target. Good mark. Oh, a screamer. He's got Swans everywhere inside. Oh, Creswell made a mistake. Luff didn't call him maybe. Braun's little one to White. This is going to cost them.
He's got his own Cummings.
Yeah, well manned up by Dunkley. He just held Mitchell White up. But
did well.
Just that little bit of voice that they needed in the centre of the ground there. Creswell just a great effort, desperate to get to the footy, but didn't know Luff was behind him. And that's the pressure of the game. But Michael Braun, sensational footy to run through and then still steady and find Mitchell White.
It was a great piece of play. You just wonder if the crowd made it impossible for the Swans players, Creswell in particular, to hear the call from Luff.
Yeah, well, as we know, it all happens so quickly, and with the hype of it, if the ball's in front, you're not sure what's around you, you still have to go for it.
What a crucial kick this is. He's been one of the best. He's got fantastic stats. Coming in for his 23rd possession, he's taken 8 marks, kicked a couple, could be his 3rd goal.
He's eating up a fair bit of time.
Yeah, still got a ball down to whether he kicks it or not.
White's kick is close.
Got it.
I think he's got it. He reckons it's home, and it is. Well, I'm not going to do a robbo on you, but boy, he must be close to 3 after the last quarter.
Hasn't he? Stood up. When it needed to be 1, Mitchell White's just put his hand up. A couple of fantastic pieces of play, and there you have just a bit of confusion between Creswell and Luff. And every time you turn it over, you get punished in this game. Braun was fantastic on the left foot, found Mitchell White, and you reckon there was a bit of pressure on that kick.
Well, can the Swans produce a miracle finish? It's doubtful now. Mitchell White, huge match here, and 2 last quarter goals to remember. Carey, Bellotti gets over him. He has been pretty good, Bellotti. Williams and Schwartz. It's got to be clean for the Swans. Matthews, wide. Fosdyke and McKenna. Bluey's got it, and I reckon so have the Eagles.
Now's the time to eat up a bit of time. The experienced head that Bluey is, he won't rush it unless he's got someone on.
Just pushes to Wirrapunda. Big performances from the Eagles.
They might kick back to him here in a minute.
We're a punter short. Well, that wasn't so good, but it was a missed mark by Russell, and White's able to bang it back to centre half forward. Williams in there, Cummings in the pocket, hooks it back to the goal square, nearly too far for Philip Matera, but it's out of play.
Close in the end, wasn't it? He ran hard.
See, it's a shame Cummings couldn't hook it back a bit further. There were a couple of loose Eagles players, Philip Matera in particular, had run hard to the goal square.
7-point margin with a minute to play. Swans must take it cleanly and run it down the ground. Goods and Bellotti. Bellotti over the top. Back to Philip Matera. Back to Peter Matera. Peter Matera's left foot shot is a miracle. It's a goal. It's a goal. He kicked the first of the match, and he's going to kick the last.
And I've got to tell you, Bruce, you talk about your 3 votes. This bloke is in calculations as well. He's had a fantastic game. Over 30 possessions. He's kicked his second goal, and that is the sealer without a doubt. He's threaded that through from an impossible position. Almost looked like a reverse banana on the left foot when we have a look at this.
Just got to swing back the right way. Yeah, the right
out top, I think.
Yeah, bit of an instep.
That is just amazing. And it just goes to show how important this game is to both clubs. And even the Eagles with 2 games clear on top. The emotion and the celebrations there, knowing that they've got the game wrapped up, heading into the State of Origin bye, just a good way to be as a club.
And we spoke about half chances. The Eagles have made the most of a couple in this quarter, and the Swans have missed a couple that you thought they would have kicked, and a lot of the crowd are now filtering out of the ground.
Well, it's been a great contest. From the Sydney's point of view, it's not the ending they wanted, but for 99% of this match, you couldn't have got a better duel between these two teams. Matthews to Schwass, loads up to centre half forward. Goods takes off early. Morrison, still Morrison. He wants the boundary line and he might get it. It hasn't quite got there yet. Nix runs to the line. So Nix running into an open goal in the last quarter. Plugger missing 2. Kelly missing 1. 4 great chances for the Swans, ready to take a grip on the game.
Yeah, they probably could have found themselves in a winning position. Unfortunately, makes a huge difference, the finishing off of this game.
Carey to Nix. It's almost the last rites. You feel like you've been in a cathedral today with what we've seen here. Kelly's little kick, Metropolis, and that was out. Surely.
She's a long way behind the boundary umpire.
They've been hot today, the boundary. He's been quick to call it a couple of times down at the Paddington end, and then down this end at Randwick he seems to let it go, and there's no boundary line.
So in the dying seconds of the match, Plugger's going to fall a couple short. 3 from the record, 2 from equaling it. Cousins, and that's it. That's a big win. Their joy will be matched by the Swans' frustration, I feel, at the end.
Oh, they certainly will, but look, it was great to see about 10 or 12 of the Eagles players throw their hands in the air when the final siren went. They came here with an agenda. This was a big match for them. They've really set themselves up on the first half. Plugger just fell, well, 3 short.